Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
How have you been, though?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. In transition again, but
Really?
yeah.
What to this time?
Well, so I was really into, food and beverage and kind of felt that whole vibe. And then COVID and the hotel was closed, or
yeah.
the Capitol Hotel closed.
Is it gone forever?
No. They're
No?
back open.
Okay.
They sold to like a corporate management. Well, not sold. A corporate management company is
Bought them.
managing it.
Oh, okay.
The Stevens still own it, but everything was going to change, and I was like, this doesn't feel very secure.
Right.
So I've kind of just been playing around, but I just started something new last week. Construction. We'll see how it goes.
Construction?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like a site management or?
Yeah, I'm a project manager for downtown dwellings. It's like
Yeah.
they buy buildings, historic buildings, and restore them.
Restore
So
them. That's awesome.
it's my fifth life. Let's see how it goes.
Well, construction's been my whole first, 14 to now.
Yeah.
So there are worse jobs.
Yeah.
It's fun. The only thing I like about it now, after 20, I don't even know, many years anymore, is that the location changes. Mm-hmm. You're never in the same spot longer than a few weeks or a month or two if it's a big job, and then onto a new one.
Yep.
That's nice. No office. It is hot as shit, though.
Yeah. We have like a central office, and everything that we own is within like 2 miles of it.
Oh, really?
So it's like the polar opposite. Like, because everything downtown, that's where the historic buildings
Fair
are.
enough. That's true. Days
they
Gates
get-
Bates and on that street, all those colonial
Yeah, we're
houses.
like Cumberland and, number streets.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and you
it's
get to
cool.
be downtown all the time. Still.
yeah. Yeah.
Where you live in Little Rock? Are you living downtown?
I'm about to.
Really?
I live way out West Little Rock right now.
shit.
Out by Pinnacle Mountain.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's been a
you-
real pain in the ass. But with COVID, again, I just didn't want to make any permanent decisions, and I didn't want to have an expensive place. So my sister and I live together in a 1-bedroom.
I mean,
She
fair enough.
lives with her boyfriend most of the time, but it's the cheapest rent I've ever had in my entire life. So,
Really?
yeah. Well, because we're splitting a 1-bedroom.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But yeah.
She's splitting it and barely living there?
Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
I know. Well, it was her lease that she couldn't get out of for a while, so I'm the sweetheart. I'm the one helping her. So,
But
anyway.
we were just talking about how long we've known each other, and we were like, we remember when like 5 years was the extent of our entire friendship, and now we're sitting here trying to guess, and we haven't even seen each other in almost 5 years.
Yeah.
It's whenever this show was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking
Well,
forever.
The Metroplex isn't even the Metroplex anymore.
No, it's
and
a
it
lumber
hasn't
one
been
for a long time.
Yeah.
God dang.
I know.
Good
Shit's
Lord.
nuts.
So when the fuck? I was trying to think, because I always try to think of stuff like before people come on. I was
Yeah.
like, how in the fuck? Vino's, I guess.
Yeah.
Way
You
long
were-
time ago. We were all kids.
Well, so I think we really met through like the Michael Brock,
The Village, more the
Gary,
Village era.
But no, it was prior to that, and he had been working. Did he only start working shows at the Village?
I
No.
don't know. I don't
No.
think so.
No,
Because he was doing something else, and then when the Village opened,
he did that like
he was there
full-time.
day one.
Yeah,
He was there from the very beginning, so he was already had to be doing it.
yeah. No, y'all had been helping. Maybe it was just Metroplexy stuff, but that even
but we were
started
working
early
with
too.
Aaron. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We were doing those shows, all those going up to wherever the fuck and doing all
Yeah.
his outdoor
That was
concerts.
later too, though. That was like 2007.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because I was out of high school.
Oh, my brain.
I know. I mean, I guess it was just Vino's in like 2002 or 3.
Had to be.
That's when I started
That's when
lurking around.
I was already there, but that's my high school era. So yeah, I was like, I graduated 02, started going to Vino's in like, I want to say like 00. It was
Really?
either 99 or 2000.
God, 99.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was like right in there because that's when I started high school. So it was like right in that,
Yeah.
because that's when I met all the people that brought me into the fold.
Yeah. Were you playing in bands at that point?
Nope. Didn't even play guitar.
Really?
I've been playing guitar for a year when I got in high school, and that's because I watched my buddy Rocco Lucido play the fucking solo to Freebird with his fucking teeth at the high school or at the junior high talent show or some shit like that. And it like, I was like, whoa. And
what the fuck? I gotta do that. I gotta play the guitar with my teeth.
And then later on at the senior talent show, we actually played together at the talent show. And it's been just that for ever since then. So I graduated 20 years ago in May.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking sucks.
My first show at Vino's. Sorry, I sound like shit.
I cough all the time. I've been
happen.
smoking a lot, so it's fine.
But yeah, I was like, how am I going to do this sounding like this? But I'm fine. Was American Hi-Fi.
Nice.
Yeah. American Hi-Fi. And honestly, they're fucking awesome. I love that band. Like, no shit. I think they're fun. And I actually bought like their second album. But you know, Stacey Jones, the singer of American Hi-Fi, was in Veruca Salt.
Oh, okay.
So he's like he's cool. He's legit.
Sure.
He just wanted to do a more poppy thing and he wanted to be the front, in front of the girls.
Money.
Yeah.
And
money.
ladies and rock and roll, yeah.
Yeah. And I was in, that had to be seventh grade or eighth
Holy
grade.
Shit. Yeah, I didn't get in that young.
Well, but it, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. We were 14. It was a friend from,
Well, that's
from church, from youth group. And that was,
maybe more like 8th grade.
yeah.
It was 14. Yeah, probably like 8th or 9th.
So, but her mom, the girl that I was supposed to go with, her mom wouldn't let her go because they sold beer at Vino's.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you allowed to go to Chili's?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Or literally anywhere, or church, because they have wine.
Right.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. But we stood over the fence in the back patio, and I was like, hey, Stacy, will you call my friend? And he did, and he was cool. And I was like, so for my first show, I was immediately like, I felt connected.
Oh,
man. From moment one. I was like,
Same.
I already met the band. You don't meet the band every time?
Pretty sure my first show was at Juanita's, and it was probably one of the most legendary lineups of all fucking, like, what a show to get in the ground floor. Drew made me go. Like, I saw some friends bands, like local bands, but like first show with touring acts and like all that. It's fucking Living Sacrifice, Logic 34, Embodiment, and Under Oath when they were death metal. Yeah, I was just like, my brain, I could feel it melting inside my head like, whoa.
Wow. Wow.
Singers hanging from shit, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And you're just like, as a kid, sold.
Wow.
Fucking sold.
Aaron would have had to have done that show because,
Oh, yeah.
what was her name? Peggy Adams. That was before him. Mm-hmm. Like, left like 2 or 3 years before.
I think Aaron is responsible for that whole time frame of the
Oh, yeah.
that
yeah.
era.
I mean, she did some cool. So, remember all the pictures they used to have in the windows?
Oh, yeah.
God, I don't even know what those are called anymore.
Headshots?
It's called like slicks or something,
Yeah.
Glossies.
Glossies.
They were called
There you go.
Glossies.
Yep.
I called when Juanita's got sold. Not the second time, not new Juanita's, and not when they moved. When the actual building got sold
Right.
to
demo all the stuff out.
yeah,
Yes, see
what
if
was
you
it,
could get
Oxford
some of them.
American, and I was like, hey, does anybody know where those are? No one fucking knows. Some asshole
dumpster.
took that shit. And it's like fucking the Pixies and Imogene Heap. And,
I remember Zach Wilde was on there,
Yeah.
and it was a lot. It was almost like it had a Comedy Store front entrance.
Yeah.
But it was for rock and roll.
Yeah, totally. Like, who thought of that? What a weird thing
It's
to do.
a weird thing.
But it was iconic.
It was. Both those, Vino's and Juanita's in that era, holy shit. Really from like the late 80s all the way to like 2000 and probably 10?
Yeah,
Just unbelievable.
I know.
Iconic.
Totally.
And then the fucking, the great dive off and just everything went to shit.
It's like watching a plane crash. I
In
watched, like,
slow
we watched
motion.
it all.
We
Yeah.
were in it.
Yeah.
And so like we started and then we loved it enough. We both got jobs in it where we were, you were doing booking, promoting, all that stuff, band managing. And I was being a band dude and doing production work.
Yeah.
And we were all working shows together. And just watch the slow decline. Watch from a Tuesday night with 200 people to a Friday night with a touring world touring act with 50 people. And you're like, what the fuck?
We got saturated. We're a C market at
I know.
best.
We're still C market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got saturated. We got big heads. And we were we were fucking shit up. It was egotistical. It was, I'll look in the camera and say it, John Love fucked everything up. Not really. But when they got a divorce, when Aaron and John split, that was the start of a weird decline.
Kind of was.
Yeah.
Well, then the same show would be over here and here at the same time. So he started splitting crowds. And then also different genres were emerging, you know? And so then the crowd started going to different things. So just like spread all the fingers out and eventually people just quit going all together.
Yeah. And I mean, I remember, so when the Village, I think that was 2009. Didn't it get torn down in 2009?
Probably. I'm all fucking stupid when it comes to time frames.
Yeah, me too.
I've lived this whole life and I'm like, I don't know. I remember it.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you when it happened.
I think, so John Love came in, him and Aaron started Hitchhiker Entertainment in 2004. I was a junior in high school and I was working for them full time. Like I just didn't go to school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's real awesome. People talk about things from like history. They're like, you don't know that? I'm like, no, I didn't go to fucking high school.
Yeah, I kind of,
I was playing rock and roll.
Other shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so they started in 04, and I'll never forget we had a show at Vino's. It was Feeble Wiener, Fall Out Boy, and some. Do you know Feeble Wiener? Or you just think the name is funny?
That's just funny.
They're like a geek rock band. It was fun.
Had to be with a name like that.
Yeah.
And then Fall Out Boy though, before they were anybody.
Yeah. I got a piece of toilet paper off Pete Wentz's shoe. Yeah.
And now look at them.
Yeah.
Fucking monster. We've had a lot of that though.
Oh.
We've had so many of those bands come through that were just kids in a van to some of the biggest musicians of all time.
Yeah, they stayed at our houses.
Yeah.
Like, be like, oh yeah, that's my friend Andy Hull. People are like, Manchester Orchestra? I'm like, yeah, you stayed with me a bunch.
Yeah.
Their van still has a fucked up front tire. Like, I don't know car parts, but their van was all fucked up from the garbage man that just plowed through our street. They're like, yep, we think of you every time we look at it. I'm like, cool.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. But yeah, so shit got really weird and we were doing like 100 million shows. I remember at one point when we had the Village, Vino's, Juanita's,
Downtown Music.
Downtown Music. Sam was at Downtown.
I just said it the other day. It was the punk rock venue that was also on, it was like right across the next street over from downtown, the Big and Tall store. Blank Generations.
Oh, yeah.
Blank Gen.
Yeah.
That was all at the same time.
Yeah, it was. And then there was even more than that. And then you have Stickies and Rev on top of that.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
But we were actually, like, I was actually running with Aaron, Vino's, Juanita's. We were doing some shows at Downtown. We were doing some shows at the Metroplex. And we had the Village.
And the Metroplex, too.
Yeah.
Shit. And not to mention all the outdoor shit we did.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that we did, like, a rave, drove all the way to Harrison, worked for the Chariot and Under Oath, and then drove all the way back. It was like a 30-something hour, like...
Just stretch. Yeah. All I wore were black T-shirts and cut-off jeans, and I just kept like 6 in my trunk.
I just wore the same shit all the time. Yeah, we all did.
Yeah. Oh, man, that look, that vibe. But there were nights that I would go from one venue to the next. I would go pay, and whichever band I wanted to see the most, I would go there last so I could like hang out and watch the show.
Right.
But I literally would we called it venue hopping in high school, but we weren't getting paid. But then at some point, I never had a real job.
Right. I know.
Like I never had, and I didn't understand PTO or vacation or time off. If there was a Sunday show, I worked 6 days that week.
Yeah.
And if I told you what I was getting paid, but I didn't give a shit.
No, none of us did. Oh, I know because I got paid. There were
the same.
Literally, if not worse.
Yeah.
It's like, you push some gear for 20 hours. I remember we did one, but it's one of those things where the camaraderie is unbelievable because you're all suffering together. And when a show fucking fails, you all fail. Because, the promoter didn't get any money.
Yeah, and you kind of...
Because he has to pay the band.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting there after like 20 hours just dead, tired, and delirious.
Here's
and they're
$40.
like... The beer fridge is open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's 20 for gas. And you're like, okay, damn. But you can only do that for so long.
Oh, I was...
Because you spend your whole life like, gigging, and then you'll get like a little small, like clean your friend's house for $50, and you're doing that during the day. You're like, whoo, made rent.
Yep.
You know, and then on to the next one.
Yep. Or start bartending at the shows or getting paid to work the door. Like Blake always paid me to work the door at the Village.
Yep.
Which was good. But yeah, I didn't have schedule. I didn't have, and I did that until I was like 26. Like, no, I take that back. I was 24 and I will never, my first job, I had worked at like a daycare, like at a gym in the nursery, you know, when I was in high school for like 3 days a week, you know, but
like a workout gym?
Yeah.
Oh, just
an
a
all
place
women's gym.
Okay, for
that
they
had,
could bring their babies.
Yeah. So I did that, but there would be no kids, and they'd be like, "Okay, you can go home. If a baby comes in, I'll watch it." And I'd be like, "Okay." Yeah. So it was not a job, and I was scared to do anything. Like I had no confidence. I was like, "I'm badass at this," and then I was like, "What do I do?" And I went and got a job. I had moved to Fayetteville at some point, and I was booking a venue up there called Rogue. And they did all this write-up in it used to be Froggy's before that, or the Gypsy or something, and I think the Gypsy and then Froggy's. And then it was Rogue Pizza, and I did some cool shit up there, but we also, it was a bullshitty thing, and it kind of sucked, and I was trying to go to school. And my friend worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was like, I guess I'll be a fucking server.
Yeah. And then you just stuck in there for...
like, cool.
How long did you do food? Like 10 years, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I did that, and then I was serving here. It took me a long time to get through school, so that was always kind of my...
What'd you go to school for?
Why? I have a degree in anthropology and
Which
nonprofit
is...
professional studies. The study of people, basically.
People? Oh, okay.
Behaviors and kinship and tribes and like how...
Oh, interesting.
Why we are societies the way we are, kind of a thing. It made sense. It kind of helped me understand a lot of my trauma from music. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through some shit. All this stuff's coming out now about how the bands are all like rapists and pedophiles. And I'm like, oh, I thought we knew that. Like,
pretty sure that was just, it's one of those things where it was so normal. It was just normal.
Yeah.
And you didn't even think about it at the time.
No.
Because it was just, oh, well, yeah, they got, what were they called? Groupies. They would take them back in the bus, and you're just like, okay, that's part, and you're just working.
Yeah. And I was the only girl around. Like, there's Sam, but I was pretty much the only chick all the fucking time.
Right.
Like, ever. And wasn't just the bands, you know? It was people. But I made sure, like, I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs. I was like, I don't want to be a cliche because I'm a teenager in this.
Right.
So I was really protective of myself for a really long time.
That's very smart.
Well, it was smart when I did it. And then, some shit, Vino's changed everything. And then I quit there and ran away to go see a show and, clear my head in Cincinnati and had a whole really cool experience there. And then came back and was like, okay, what the fuck am I going to do now? And called Aaron Hurley and was like, okay, I still want to work in music.
Yeah.
And,
can I have a job, please?
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I really need help. So I filed press kits.
Oh, joy.
That was my first thing that I did. I was going through and just listening to music. I was still,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was
press
wild.
kits. Back when that was fucking, I mean, we still have to make them and send them, but it's like the most pointless shit in the world.
Yeah. It's like Google. That's your press kit. Like, it's right there. You can even click play.
Yeah. It's everything.
And it's probably easier than going to somebody, finding the email with the link to it and like opening it.
Sitting, because, I used to ask Aaron a lot, and Blake and James too, Snyder, all those fucking questions like, well, what about this? What about, because I'm in a band too, because I don't want to do this forever. I want to be on stage forever. So this is kind of like my workaround to try to get in with all those people. And then I was in his office one day and he goes, okay, here's press kits. And he picks up 2 different ones, right? And he had them on his desk. He's like, this one. And it was just like a folder. He goes, choomp. And he dropped it in the trash can. He goes, fuck that band. That's unoriginal. They suck.
Yeah.
And then he picked up one that was like laminated, like a trifold, and had a cork with a CD in the middle.
Yeah.
And the graphics were laid out around it. He's like, this band gives a fuck. They go in my maybe pile. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So try.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Effort, man. God.
And he was like, this is how it is. This is just how it is. He's like, you get however many of these a day. Because at the time, Juanita's was super popular venue,
Yeah.
so everybody knew who the fuck
was
Juanita's was.
exclusive.
Yeah. And so if you didn't take the time to show that you gave a shit about your own thing,
Yeah. Because you're probably going to put that time into promoting your show too, and like making your girlfriend pay for a ticket.
well,
you
just
know?
be a fucking local here was hard to get in that joint.
Yeah. Until, well, so yeah, press kits. We had 'em filed, and we would take beer boxes and cut out the top, and he had these shelves in his office, and I would just go kind of sort them A to Z. And he was like, "If you see one that looks cool, pull it out."
Yep.
And so I did that. And there were times though that I was like, like stealing CDs out of him. I was like, "This band's fucking awesome." I was like, "That band was cool. I took the CD," and he, nobody cared.
He
But
doesn't care.
he was like, "If you say they're good, I'll book them." But yeah, so when local bands started playing Juanita's, so they had their blues night on Tuesday, and then on Wednesdays they had like there was some kind of local group that was some kind of like random genre of music, and they would do Wednesdays. So there was blues on Tuesdays, Southern Random on Wednesday, they don't remember, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday were
Shows, regular
touring,
gigs.
bands. But it wasn't like it was always big radio rock bands, or
No.
there wasn't it was good and it was fun, but it wasn't like a whole movement, like
Not like the middle tier that was about to happen.
yeah.
Yeah, with the Devil Wears Pradas and the Under Oaths and
Yeah.
the Mayday parades and all. Just the list goes on and on.
Yeah. And even just like,
But there were so many.
yeah. And so that happened though because there was Fresh Blood at Vino's.
Yep.
And John Love had just started. So he was the manager of Single Minded, who became the Frail Division.
That's right.
And so he kind of got involved just from them playing shows at Juanita's. And he was like, "Yeah, I think I'll do this for a job." And him and Aaron somehow,
Linked up.
and they are so different. That was such a weird, bizarre combination.
I've only ever heard stories. I didn't know them at the time. Knew them both after all that had already happened.
Yeah.
But I
it
knew
was-
Aaron more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron's mine.
He's the best. I got to get him on here.
my buddy.
Speaking of hard to get on that, so my band, my first like actual band where we were doing stuff, we used to hound him all the time, and then when emails were around, we were like emailing him all the time, and he finally and he knows this story because we've shared a few laughs over it, but finally we get the show. Fuck, we booked Juanita's. The day before the show, we broke up.
Oh, shit.
And we canceled on him.
Nobody showed up like, "Hey, I'm Corey. I'm just going to do this shit by myself because fuck it."
No. It was
That happened a lot.
It was the only breakup where it was almost fist fights for me.
Oh, shit.
Because I've been in quite a few.
Yeah.
It was the only one that was just like straight up. We were in each other's face, like nose to nose. And it was all over. And it's so stupid now. It was all over track listings
Oh, wow.
for the album we were making.
Wow.
How fucking stupid.
This shit is about passion.
It
and
is.
people, like, seriously, though, if a
They
band would
really
cancel
care.
on us, we would be like, "Can somebody come play?" Like, we would seriously try and get, like, something put
An acoustic
unless there
act.
were 13 bands on the bill, which we did that too all the time. But,
I don't miss that shit.
God.
I don't miss that shit.
We push things, but it is passion. And the
Yes.
reason you do that is for passion. It's like Dave, the sound guy from Juanita's, he was there forever.
Decades. Yes.
Yeah. And Dave Barnett, he works for the state now.
I can't. It's unfucking imaginable to me that a man that gifted works
Yeah.
in that job.
Yeah.
When he definitely should be in this job.
Oh,
He was
there's-
a god at sound.
You could the stories that man probably has, and he's a loner. Like
I know.
he's just kind of his own deal, and he's always been like that, and I don't think he wants it any other way. But he knows so much, and oh man,
If I had
if
him
you,
on here, that'd be-
dude, oh, he would.
If
just
you would do it.
The first thing, all you would have to say to get him going is, "So, Dave, how do you feel about people spiking mics on stage?" And he would probably stand up and,
Yeah.
"God damn it!" He gets so
Kick monitor grates in because he was very.
protective.
Oh yeah, because he would be there at the end of the night. Once you start working, you see the sound guy. He's pulling the grills back off.
Yeah.
Popping the
Yep.
screens back.
Yep.
Like wiping all the beer out.
Yeah,
like,
people didn't do that shit, but we had nice gear there.
Very
And
nice.
well, remember that
Some of the best.
that organ
Yes.
and that was there. That was on stage for years
Forever.
and years and years.
Forever.
They finally moved it to the back because Dave was getting pissed, but people would want to use it.
Yep.
I wish I could remember a single band that did, but I can't. But yeah, lots of people wanted to use that thing too. But yeah, man, passion. Man, passion.
Yeah, and it equates for a lot of mistakes too, though. Like, you get so in the moment, and then that's what happens. You do shit that you probably wouldn't normally do, like throw a microphone on the ground, because they're expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
they're
not
really fucking expensive.
yours.
And it's not yours. Well,
yours are.
So the reason why you're here, you hit me up about a show we did in Nashville, Arkansas, and holy fuck.
Oh, let's go there. Yeah.
The main sound guy. So we took to people that know the Village, we packed up the Village.
The whole fucking
the
stage,
soundboards, the stage,
everything,
the lighting, all of it came in a fucking Penske truck.
Yeah.
To Nashville, Arkansas, and we set it up in a fucking cow pasture in a parking lot across the street from a cow pasture. Like, we had cows watching us play.
Yeah.
And then there was like a barbecue dude. And there was like...
Oh, I forgot about the barbecue dude.
Dude, the best. He's the guy that taught me how to smoke pork chops.
That's funny.
I still use that trick to this day.
Nice. Okay.
So Jesse, the sound guy, the first fucking band, does the thing. Pow! And he's a hothead. He runs around, gets up on stage.
Jesse Baker.
The mics are still hot, and he's like, "You stupid motherfuckers! You suck anyway! Go back to your fucking garage!"
Fuck.
Well, and the whole crowd's like, "Oh my god!"
That was the first. That was the first moment.
That was the first fucking band, and we should have all known. We should have all known.
We knew.
It was
when we pulled up, we fucking knew.
Dude.
I think we had a little bit of hope in the beginning.
We always do.
Yeah, but you're totally right. That I'm gonna keep coming back to that. Passion makes you do a lot of things that you should not fucking do.
We should have turned around.
That's
and
why
went
it
home.
all crashed and burned anyway. Like the whole thing, the whole music scene here. You know,
Dude.
everybody started pushing to make shit happen.
Well,
so
fucking, it was all these locals, and I can't remember.
it was
them
like
all.
10.
It was a lot.
They were playing
two
like
stages.
15-minute slots. Yeah, dueling.
And
it
one was in the
was-
warehouse, and one was outside on the Village stage.
God.
And it was, but I wrestled a bear once.
Yeah. That's the only band I remember.
And the big fucking scary Handshake Murders. He's the one that went and slashed
yeah.
that. So the promoter fucking ran off with all the money.
Is that who I messaged you about?
Yes.
Okay.
And then that guy found his truck, slashed all his tires. I remember walking into that warehouse, the office y'all had set up, and I walked in and you go, and I was like, and just turned around and walked right back out. That look was so
Oh my God.
fucking...
Man, you're unlocking. I've been racking my brain since I messaged you last week and I was like, who was that dude? And I
Mike.
don't know why I thought of him, but
I
he
think
just
about
came
that show
into
all
my
the time.
head.
That was the nightmarish show of all time.
That was so wild. I remember, but now you just unlocked that for real. I remember that look. I remember you walked in and I remember we were sitting there with money. They were going to fucking kill each other.
I bet.
They were going to kill each other. And I don't even know, we had some money. How did we even, people were there.
Yeah, there was a solid probably 100 people, honestly.
I just remember.
Because we were the first band at night on the Village stage. Like, we were the Nightfall band that was going to kick off the rest of the tour, like the big acts.
Yeah.
But
they didn't all play, did they?
Only one.
Yeah.
We were almost the headliner of the show because when we got done, that's when I walked. That's when all that was going. That's why I missed some of that drama.
Yeah.
Because I was on stage playing.
Fuck. You set up all that stuff. We hauled it up there. We set it up. Then you played.
Yeah.
Then we had to tear it down.
and we were all like beat down. The sun, because it was hot. It was in the middle of summer.
All I remember is I remember being so sweaty.
Yes.
And just miserable.
Remember Brock, and all he had on was booty shorts?
Yeah.
And he's out there.
That's all he ever wore. I have so many pictures.
Yeah. I've got one from that show, and he's just like this from like way across the parking lot. Just stunner shades and booty shorts.
Oh, my God.
But we had to get all that going. We had two really good sound guys.
Yeah.
We brought Jesse, and then Nick was there.
Yeah.
And because Nick was in, like, that's how all this came together. Because Nick was like, and this guy had this idea. And so the show lost its ass because he booked all these fucking bands and, like, I think it was like 3 headlining acts that all should have been headlining their own show, not playing back to back.
Yeah.
And then just bounced with the purse and like left his wife there or some shit.
Oh my God. Yeah. And do you remember? So something bad happened with I Wrestled a Bear once. Like, I remember like thinking like that band better not ever come back to town. Not because of like we would get them, but because like they were going to cause some fucking trouble if they were ever back in Arkansas. And they did come back.
She was screaming when I walked in the room, and you gave me the look, and I saw everything going on, and I just. Like, oh, no.
And I couldn't defend anything. And I didn't have any, I wasn't paying for that shit.
It wasn't our skin in the game.
Yeah.
We were there to help.
And we were working for free. We did all that for nothing.
Just because to do it. And Blake let us use the village stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't charge us for that or nothing.
Yeah. I was talking to my girlfriend about this story. I was like, so my friend has a podcast. We were talking about this stuff. And I was like, all I remember is like, or I was asking her really, I was like, I really wonder if did we even ask Blake? I know he didn't care, but then I was like, did we borrow it all and break it all? We didn't break anything.
No, nothing broke.
Yeah.
But
I had it in my head. I was like, that was so fucked up. I think we broke everything too, but we didn't.
We showed up the night before. I was the whole process. So this is what I remember. We showed up the night before. We tore everything in the village down. We loaded it into a fucking Penske truck with the ramp. You know, the big village ramp, that big 80-foot behemoth.
Yeah.
And it got driven to a house or whatever. And then we meet that morning, the morning of the show. The show starts at like fucking 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
And we got to get the fuck going.
Yeah.
We build the stage. We set the PA system up. And it wasn't, you know what? Actually, I think it was the whole fucking PA system. I know it was both the boards, the big old 50-channel fucking.
Oh, it was. It was everything. It was both boards. It was
the whole stage.
Everything.
And now I'm thinking, I think it was all the speakers too.
Yeah.
It was a stupid amount of shit.
Yeah, especially for what it was. We could have done that with those.
It was just did it at the village. Why did we just do it at the village where it already was?
I don't know.
There wasn't a show, clearly.
Why didn't we? Why didn't we?
We were just talked into it's a pasture and it's awesome and they're letting us use the land and it's not the same building. So
yeah, we were bored. I guess we were bored. Remember being bored? Remember when that was a thing?
Bored doing the shit you do every day that you're like, I'm bored. There's Billy Joel from Green Day. Like,
man, I had so many moments like that. Like I was,
or just chilling in the back and you're surrounded by rock stars and you're like, I could eat.
Yeah, like,
this shit doesn't mean nothing.
We all get the fuck out of here and leave that pizza.
Or you're praying at the end of the night. They leave the fucking. What is that shit called?
All the catering.
The catering, yeah. The burritos and the.
Yeah, especially Juanita's when it was like big things of fajitas. I lived off of cold old fajitas.
Dude, when they would leave the whole, like the band wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah.
And you were eyeballing it all night, like they ain't nothing.
That's another memory unlocked. I lived off that shit. I slept up there all the time.
Oh, well, there's a whole. Most people probably don't know that there was a whole fucking house, like damn apartment upstairs. Yeah. Offices, all this stuff, and then like an actual. It had a bathroom and everything.
So there was a bathroom, there were showers. That's why it was the premier venue because it's one of the very few that had showers and washer dryer. Yeah. And like lots of back offices that were open, and we threw couches and stuff back there. We trashed that place.
Oh, it was so
I used to get in trouble.
I would not sit in them couches.
Oh yeah,
so gross.
We did all kinds. I also got in trouble for leaving my hookah out all the time. I had worked at a hookah bar for like 10 minutes, and I had a hookah. And Aaron would be like, "You're like Kylie, his daughter. Yeah, clean that shit up." I'm sorry. But yeah, so we had a bed up there. We built a bed. That was actually James's idea, building a bed in the green room for like the bus drivers that couldn't get a hotel room.
Smart.
Yeah. We put really good mattress protector on it.
Yeah, those poor bastards.
Yeah.
Those poor bus drivers, man. Drive all night, sleep all day, miss all the fun.
Yeah, no joke. But so there's like all these different breeds. Like we could really write a book. Like, so sound guys are like this.
Oh, sure.
Promoters are like this.
Yeah.
Bus drivers are
archetypes.
Like this. Yeah. Sound guys are definitely the most unique breed of person.
It takes, all the sound guys I know, they're all basically the same person.
Yeah.
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 They got their different quirks, but that's what makes them them. But and the amount of yelling. Yeah. Except Dave. Never really heard him yell. He would get mad, but we were always very nice to him.
I heard him yell.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, that's good. It means you weren't assholes. Yeah.
I learned.
Yeah.
I learned quick
Yeah.
when I saw bands get yelled at. I was like, I don't want to get yelled at. Plus, I have a bad problem with being yelled at.
Yeah.
So you got to find ways to not get yelled at.
God, I used to yell. I was such a bitch.
You have to be, though.
I was such a bitch.
It's okay. Because those fucking band dudes come in and wreck shit. It's like, hey, man, we have to be here every day. You're here for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. And everything, they come in and the rock star thing, and I get it. You don't have a home.
Right.
You're out maybe 3 or 4 months. I got a tattoo on the tour bus of 13 Visions from a guy named Rusty. Because those losers, sorry, they're not losers. I am just a bitch. But I just think it's so funny that these guys had their tour bus and they turned the back lounge, which is normally like, if you have a family or
Right.
whatever,
Right.
you have the girl that night, whatever, that's your spot.
Yes.
But theirs was all covered in Fist Queen. And it was for, that face was for tattoos.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, God almighty. They set up a mobile tattoo parlor in their bus.
They paid that dude to come tattoo them. They were covered. If you look up those dudes, they are
Just
covered
head
in
to toe.
tattoos. But they were like, in that moment, they were like, well, we can't stop getting tattooed. It's kind of our look, So they had a tattoo
That's fucking insane.
artist on tour.
There's tattoo parlors in every city you go to.
Yeah.
But that guy was probably like, fuck, man, I'll do it for a day rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
just paying by the day and he'll do whatever. Did you ever get one by the weird,
Yeah.
the puzzle man?
Yeah. I have a
What's
puzzle
his name?
piece. I'm in the Brotherhood, the Enigma.
Enigma.
Yeah.
That's him.
Me and Aaron both got.
So fucking nice.
Yeah, he was a cool dude. We got tattooed in Aaron's apartment. I was laying on the floor. I sound like such a punk rock. I'm not.
It was pretty punk rock.
But that was
though.
kind of punk rock.
In
I get
the
a little
time.
cred for
Maybe
that.
Not now.
He drilled the fuck out of my back. Oh my god, that tattoo! If you touch it, it's just like boom,
Boom. Oh, really?
It's so
Just fucking
bad.
all over. Well, I'm pretty sure he's self-taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
That
covered
was-
in blue puzzle pieces. Look him up on the internet, the Enigma.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a freak show.
Yeah,
That's what they call
yeah.
it. A couple of times. He came through here
Yeah.
more than once. Super fucking nice. Him and his wife. Or partner.
Serena,
right?
yeah,
Serena.
she was a suicide girl.
Yeah.
They're not together anymore.
They're not? Damn.
They were together for a long. They met at our
Long-
tattoo convention.
Yeah, a long fucking time.
They met at Inksplosion.
Because they were farming in Ohio or some shit.
Yep. Yep. What else do you do when you're covered from head to toe in blue puzzle
Accounting?
pieces? Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know,
accounting.
sit in the office.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill. Hey, Enigma. Now that's a skit.
I'm gonna put that up there with James's horror film idea about Larry's Pizza.
What?
They used to just get stupid high and make up shit when we did the horror convention. Horror. People
Horror, not
always-
whore. Yeah.
A horror convention. But he had this idea because Larry's Pizza was right down there, and Samantha, I think, was working there part time.
Yeah, yeah, she was.
And so he's like, we had a submission for films, and so we were watching all these
Oh, for the
you know,
screening rooms
yeah,
and shit.
yeah. So we were gonna,
Okay.
we had some kind of award. I don't know. We were gonna do something, but we were watching all these baby horror films. And he's walking around with pizza. He's like, "Can't you just see it like a zombie at Larry's Pizza walking around?" Pepperoni. I thought that shit was so funny.
That is funny.
So we'll do the Enigma and then we'll do the Larry's Pizza thing.
Yo,
start
Enigma
that
in an
back up.
office accounting would be fucking hilarious. Do it
Yeah.
shot like The Office.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Oh my God.
He's got the implanted
The
horns.
horns. He's got the
and-
split tongue.
Yep, split tongue. I think he tattooed his eyeballs. I think he did the eyeballs finally.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No. No. That hurt just thinking about it. Fuck.
Yeah. What if that goes wrong?
Have you seen when it does? It's
No.
horrifying. Oh, it's blindness. You're fucked. They're pulling your eyeball out of your head.
Well, I just don't understand the risk versus reward.
Nope. Well, it's like this one. Do you have yours? Is it still there?
Yeah, they said that goes away. It doesn't. So if you're considering a lip tattoo, they don't fade in 10 years.
Really?
No.
Oh, because I believe that hype. They don't
No,
fade.
I've
Yeah,
had
yours
this
is
since-
still there.
Me and
Holy
Lindsay
shit.
Forbes got that together. We were 18. I'm 34.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was.
I'm glad I
wrong.
didn't get anything else.
I know these ones fade pretty hard, but then they end up just looking like shit.
Yeah, they're just runny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just
On your hip.
become dots and shit.
Yeah.
I don't. This one is my own fault. I literally got it at Adrian 7th Street. Like I hadn't seen him in a while, and I was like, fuck it, I'll get my band logo on my thumb, and then literally walked across to Vino's, walked on stage, played a fucking show, sweating and guitar strings, and
Oh my God.
just fucked it all up. Literally, I was like, well, that was stupid.
Damn.
And now it stays dirty. I mean, I'm a dirty fucking person, but I think it's like embedded in there. Like I can't clean it.
Yeah, could be.
Oops.
That's a cut, basically. Man, so my first tattoo was from The Parlor. Diffie.
Oh shit.
He was in a band too.
Yes, he was. What was it called?
Go Fast.
Go Fast. They were fucking fun too.
Well, apparently Go Fast
Are they back?
is a term. I think they'll always kind of be around.
Okay. Something we want to.
But I think, doesn't it mean like, pardon my drug ignorance, but I think like it means something about like meth or coke or something.
Seems right.
That's something
I'll believe that.
Yeah. I have a funny relationship with Go Fast, but he owned The Parlor.
Parlor was a shit.
It was
And
so
that was
cool.
a venue too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck. Because I watched Encomium play in that little
Oh my
fucking
God.
back room.
Yeah. He did all. Diffie was cool. He was wild, but he was cool.
Wild.
Yeah.
Fun though.
My first though, I hung out at tattoo parlors a lot. So I was hanging out at
Of
Vino's.
course. Vino's
And
tattoo
7th
parlors.
Street was right
Yeah.
there, and Ashley Berry and I became good friends. And I would get bored at
Good old
Juanita's or
Ashley.
Vino's and go hang out with her,
Uh-huh,
and
right.
just hang out. And Chad and
'Cause she's
Adrian.
working only when people come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I used to do that everywhere though. I would just kind of go sit around. Like now that I think about it, it's like, was that a normal thing to just go hang out at the tattoo parlor
While
for
you're
a
at
couple
work?
hours? Yeah.
But that's a sweet fucking life
Oh,
for a
yeah.
teenager / young adult.
Yeah, for sure. So I saw a magazine and it was Stars and Dots, which is super traditional, filler.
Oh,
It's meant to go in between tattoos.
All the tattoos, yeah.
But I was like, I want that. So I cut out 14 of them, stars and dots,
Yeah.
on this little strip of paper and took it to Diffie. And I was like, if it goes right here, it'll even be covered up in a swimsuit. So I put it like on my hip.
That was
It
your
looks
first
terrible.
one?
That was my first tattoo.
Oh my God.
And but I got 14 stars and 14 dots because that's how old I was when I went to go see Sugar Cult. And that's what started me in music when I ran away to that show. Do you know
So
that
it's still
story?
cool.
Yeah, so it's
Sugar Cult.
they all represent music, which
Some of
feels
mine do.
silly, but
Now I just want silly shit. Like
yeah.
ever since my dad passed away this year, now I'm just like on this different. It changes you.
Yeah.
So now I'm just on this different wavelength. I'm just like I'm just gonna be me forever. I'm not having kids.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is the point of growing up?
Yeah.
So
I'm all about that life.
yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna live probably that long. I'm just gonna have fun.
Yeah. I think I'm there too. Like,
If I make it to 70, it'll be a fucking miracle.
no, I don't know.
No, I promise you.
70's not very old.
I have less time left on this earth than I've been on this earth. I plan on fucking doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you have fun, I guess.
Yeah,
That's the point.
That's what it's all about. Like, look, first time in over a year, 2XL. Shout out to my boy Tan the Terrible, Risky Clothing. He gave me this.
Nice.
And he was like, you want a 2X or a 3X? And I was like, man, I've been in 3Xs, but they're starting to get, because I've been dieting. I was like, they're starting to get loose. And then he gave me this yesterday.
Nice.
And I fucking put it on this morning. And I was like, you know what? 2XL.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. Do it. I'm fatter than I've ever been in my whole life.
Oh God. I have to be on a diet.
Yeah.
It was absurd.
Yeah.
Guess.
Oh, I can't. I have no idea.
Go ahead. It won't fucking faze
280.
me. Not even close.
310. 325. 335. 340. 350. No. No, you
Yep.
didn't.
Swear.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
good on you
terrible.
for
Yeah.
figuring that out. I'm almost at that point where I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to stop eating all the fucking time.
I just love fucking pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza, spaghetti, all the best food makes you fat. It's like, hey, you want to be skinny? Here's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm finally coming through like the other side of my trauma. Like music for me was such an escape, being around people.
Right.
But I was still really judged. Like I listened to pop punk and what they were calling emo. That definitely wasn't emo, but
Right.
like, those kids at Vino's that were working there, fucking hated me.
Really?
I was this young kid doing a street team. They didn't know me, so it's like I just
But
appeared.
that was that old guard, and they were all jaded as fuck
Yeah.
and just mean to everyone.
Hell
they were mean
yeah.
to the cuss. You used to go to Vino's and expect to just, you're never going to see a server one. Fuck
Yeah.
that. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And if you do, they're going to act like, why the fuck are you bothering me?
Yeah. Oh, it was like Dick's Last Resort, but it wasn't a joke.
But it wasn't a joke. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I chose to go there like every day.
We all did.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I still do.
And they criticized well, and it's a little different now. I actually went there for lunch a few days ago.
I fucking love it. I've been there.
I could still eat there every day.
Every
I ate
day.
there in the Dave Jukes special, the old manager there, and he'd roll out a thin crust pizza instead of hand toss, and he'd take pepperoni and jalapeno, and he'd chook, chook, chook with a little pizza cutter and make little tiny pieces.
Little tiny pieces?
Spread them out, and that shit, cut it into skinny little pieces. Man, that when you needed to mix it up a little bit,
Damn.
you could go with the Dave Jukes special.
It's the best thing about working at a pizza place. You can make some crazy shit. I used to work at Pizza Hut, and we never ate what was on the menu.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we making a day? And you just get creative because you got 50 fucking ingredients at your disposal.
Yeah. We did turkey calzone became my go-to with olives.
A turkey calzone?
Yeah. Their turkey's so good.
Is it really?
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
Sandwiches are good. Vino's is just good. I still,
It is. It's
I have a
just-
lot of resentment and a lot of like trauma from all of that. But
It was a wild time.
I've waited 10 years now. I can eat there again. So,
It took 10 years, damn. Do you
Not
think
really.
COVID helped with all that shit? It's
I-
self-introspection.
yeah, I think honestly, TikTok, like looking at people like deconstructing Christianity, deconstructing,
TikTok.
like TikTok's taught me so much. Like,
That's
no joke.
fucking
It's not
wild.
just dances. It's like, so I'm learning how to process different things that I've been through.
Yeah?
And like being a teenager working a job like that, like it was a lot.
It's going to fuck you up.
Yeah,
You're not
it
going to be a
did.
good adult, probably.
No.
It's going to be a tough road.
You're surrounded by bad examples. You think you're the shit. Like,
Well,
you think the
yes.
world revolves around your ass.
Yep.
Because it did.
Oh, shit.
And it was like a power thing, you know?
It is a wild thing.
And I get credit for so much shit that I didn't do, like all the time, like blowing bands up and like people come up to me. But that was the struggle too. I'd be at my grandmother's like 82nd birthday party at Senor Tequila's with my whole family, and some grubby band, dude
Puppet,
from
yeah.
would be like, hey, and he wants to talk about booking shows. And I started getting pissed. Like, give me space, people.
That's the problem with fame right there. There's no such thing as the more popular you get, even if it's small, the more popular you get, the less space you're going to have, especially pre-free time.
Yeah.
A friend of mine did American Idol, and literally, this was like 5-6 years later. He didn't make it. He did good, but he didn't make it. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting at a fucking barbecue restaurant in the woods, just chilling, eating food. Somebody walks right up to him. You on American Idol? Mm-hmm. He's like, God. I looked at him like, I just started snickering, like, I can't fucking believe that.
Yeah.
There's no way anyone here should fucking know you from that show. Like,
Yeah.
that is fucking batshit crazy. And he was only on there for like 3 episodes. That's how far that shit follows you around.
Sean?
Huh?
Was it Sean?
Yeah.
He was on 3 whole episodes?
I think it was 3.
I
He
remember-
made it to Los Angeles.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe it was 3 by default because they do the buddy rounds.
Yeah.
And I think he lost it wasn't his fault. It was the group's fault. Because that was the old way
yeah.
they did it when you had to lose in groups to like dwindle the numbers
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
But that shit's rigged, y'all.
Yeah.
Here to break it to you, insider information. They already know who the winner's going to be.
Oh, shit. Yeah. We had several people, and we always did watch parties and stuff at Juanita's. Sean did
yeah.
one. He had some, and I think people made beards. Some people made
Big,
some
long,
big,
fake
long,
beards.
fake beards. Showed up with their beards. They were probably his friends, but we've had a lot of people kind of like make it a little bit around here.
Are you kidding? I mean, Arkansas is home to some of the most fascinating fucking musicians
And it's so weird. Like, it's so
and actors. Shit.
random, you know?
And
like,
I think the thing is, most people don't know because when they get the fuck out of here, they're like, I'm
Yeah.
from LA now.
yeah.
They
yeah.
don't speak about it.
Yeah.
Try
And
to
a lot
get
of
that.
people, I think of, like, a lot of people are writing songs in Nashville for people right now. And,
Oh, there's a ton of that shit going on.
Yeah. That kind of became the move.
One of the dudes from Haste the Day, I was talking to him at Vino's, like 2 hours, and he's like, dude, I love it. I wish I had this job forever. He's like, I just sit in a room and make fucking tracks, man. Mm-hmm. And they either buy them or they don't, but that's what I do. I make my living just writing songs. I'm like, God, that's probably a better goal. You don't get the fame, but you get a lot of that money because they pay really well, especially if it gets added and then it blows up. That's more money in your pocket. They got back-end points on that shit.
Yeah.
And you got none of the problems.
Yeah.
You get to go to Hattie B's and eat some delicious chicken, and he can't. And that's your fucking song.
That's funny. Yeah. And everybody did this big genre switch, too. It's like everybody that used to, like, you kind of pigeonhole some people into a genre, and then all of a sudden it's like Schoolboy Humor is now The Roads Below, like a country band. I saw them at Stickies. That's
really?
Where all this came from in my head was watching them.
Did you go to your first show? When would you go to your first show after COVID? Was that one?
No.
I'd say after COVID.
I'm
saying after everything opened up.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't really remember. It was something kind of random at Rev Room. It may have been them. I think it was.
When was a house show?
Yeah.
They were at Rev Room?
Mm-hmm. And they played with one of the guys from Plu.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
He plays with some country guy from like Sherwood or something right now. He's
Country's
just playing
the move.
keyboard.
You want to make money.
That's
play
what
country.
Schoolboy Humor did.
Yep.
They're trying to...
I was talking to my bandmates the other day at practice. I was like, I'll sell out right the fuck now. Fuck every one of you.
Yeah.
If somebody called me and was like, come be a drummer in this country rock touring band, I'd be like, bye.
I used to see that shit. Like little girl singers, you know, the dudes in their band, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you safe to be around this person?
He's a metalhead that wanted a paycheck.
Yep.
That's a lot of those guys. I've talked to some very famous people and they love like heavy metal and shit, but that ain't what pays the bills.
Yeah.
It's this shit.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, I mean, I just do this, man.
Yeah. James called me to come work a show at the Metroplex. This has been several years. Melody Martina, I think is her name, or Martinez.
Sounds like a TikToker.
It's kind of, she probably
Vine
is.
star.
I think she was like a YouTube,
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
YouTuber.
And I think she was on one of the America's Got Talent or something like that. But she has like blue hair and she's kind of like anime rock kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That shit's popular as fuck now.
I'm making a lot of assumptions based on the way she looked on a poster.
Sure.
And like they have like baby bottles and shit. Anyway, it's for like kids, but she had a stalker. And so like this old creepy man, like we had his picture everywhere. But I'd never heard of this person. Okay. Never in my life have I heard of this artist. And I worked the show and there's a line. It was like the Kat Von D line at the tattoo convention.
God.
It was around the building.
Miss Priss. You're talking about that woman's list of fucking demands. Good
Dude,
God.
That was the first time I ever had Grey Goose. She left her Grey Goose behind, and I was like, oh. And I took a little sip, and I was like, oh, this is like water. I can drink this.
That's dangerous is what that is.
Yeah. She, that convention was weird, but
so weird.
It was real weird, but so there was some drama with the tattoo shop that we partnered with originally. Was from an outer-lying town. I don't remember what it was. It was a guy and his wife. And they wanted to have a whole tattoo convention, but not invite 7th Street.
Oh, I do remember that.
Because they had because 7th Street was the shit.
They were the top dog at the time.
And they were just being like bullies. It was stupid. And so Ashley called me and she said, I hear you guys are doing a tattoo convention. And I was like, at this point, I was like in the middle of this. And me and her are really good friends. Like, I'm like, what the hell? That's where my people are.
Right.
And Aaron and James were like, I don't know. It's their money. We're just helping them produce it. And I was like, okay, but...
We're just clients to their shenanigans, yeah.
And so Ashley called and she said, I'm going to send your number to somebody. Expect a phone call. I was like, okay. And I knew it was about this. It was Kat Von D's manager.
Oh.
And he was like, hey, so we want to bring Kat Von D to your event, but you have to let 7th Street come to the convention.
No shit.
That's how
that makes me feel a lot better about all of her shenanigans that day.
Because she was married to Oliver Peck.
Yes.
Who was a Deep Ellum
who's good friends with the 7th Street guys.
Yep. So that was like a whole drama that I was awkwardly
they got bullied. They got bullied back. Like they were like, "Oh, you want to flex?
Yep.
Super flex, motherfucker."
Super flex.
That shit was
the hottest
on everything.
Fucking L.A. Ink or Miami Ink.
Was it Miami?
Miami
Ink?
first.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That shit was wild.
Yo, they got flexed on hard as fuck.
Super. And I was like, snickering. I was like, now I don't have to like be
Love
an
it.
asshole.
And he was there too.
Yeah.
He was, and then there was a lot of shit. That's the first time I saw somebody get their fucking fingernails
Yeah.
done.
Oh.
It was
I
horrifying.
got a dermal
At
anchor
that show?
at that thing in my neck, right where a necklace and everything else. It was awful.
I don't think I've ever, that and that horror convention, I've never walked more in my fucking life.
Yeah.
Just back and forth and
Shit.
back and forth. Oh, you need, okay. Back and forth. Oh, yeah, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my fucking God. I remember Bayside played there.
Uh-huh.
And they showed up in a fucking rider truck because their bus broke down.
Oh, yeah.
And it was sadly that guy, their drummer that died, I think, was actually there too.
Yeah.
I remember swashbuckling with him because he played this, like his kick drum was literally as long as this table.
Oh, shit.
I remember like, what's the point? And he was like, this, it looks cool,
Looks
man.
cool, yeah. That's the answer to most things
Yeah.
in rock and roll. I don't know, it looks cool.
They said it would sound good.
Yeah.
They.
They.
I got it for free, man. I don't give a fuck.
I get a little check every time it's in a magazine.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Guitar World, for putting my drum set in your magazine.
Dude, Bayside and that whole like that genre and that area and era, I guess, of music
What was that?
like,
Indie rock? What would they be? Indie rock?
I don't know. We called it, I think, all kind of pop punk. Just we kind of lumped it together.
Everything
with that.
went into emo for a second, and then all the subgenres started dividing themselves. Like, no, we don't want to be emo.
I can't.
We're not this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my dad called all those people Justin Kroger. The constant fall.
So
Or the guys that would.
I was
the
that kid
time.
because my hair was down to fucking here, so
Yeah.
I was always
I remember.
trying to choke it behind my ears, like and it's getting it's the longest it's been in years.
Yeah.
But I got this wicked mullet going on.
Yeah, it works. Remember when Justin Kroger had his hair, down
yeah.
to here? My dad, and he got it cut.
He's an actual
when he was in
Muppet, Justin
EKG.
Kroger, when he had that haircut. Just hair all down in front of him.
Oh, but my dad would be like, "Your Twilight friends," because they all looked like Edward Cullen. It was kind of rude, but
He's still out in L.A. Matt's back.
is
Hillard?
he? Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that actually,
Kicking ass, doing big fucking movie stuff.
dude. And Caleb Schultz,
All of them.
fucking
They went out there
him
and
and his
crushed it.
Gucci shoes
Yeah.
and his beautiful wife and family.
How
like,
wild.
and I was like, man, I should call him and be like, okay, remember when I
Did all
like,
these favors for
did
you for like
everything.
literally free.
Yeah. I did get to go on tour with, I think it was Schoolboy Humor, though, and Forever the Sickest Kids.
That's cool.
That was a really fun little...
I've never been on someone else's tour. I've always wanted to. That's kind of on
Yeah.
my list of shit to do.
Man, it was so fun, and I didn't have to do hardly anything.
Right.
I would settle the shows,
That's it.
and
Count the merch, settle the door.
yeah. And now I will say we made shirts because they didn't have anything to sell, and I was like,
Spray paint.
the hell? Yeah, we used a stencil from
Yep.
Walmart
Yep.
and spray paint and made them shirts.
I
Sold
learned
for
that shit from
$25.
Josh Scoggin from The Chariot.
Uh-huh.
There was like this small little video clip that went around for a small bit, and he like went in a dumpster at a Goodwill because they throw fucking everything. And he pulls out this framed Victorian photo. He goes, and we bought this stencil, like they had it just said The Chariot, black paint, sold it for $40. He goes, now we all need eat tonight. And I was like, that is fucking genius. It's a 101. The kid that owns that probably still fucking owns that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they made it for free.
Yeah.
It cost them nothing. Brilliant. Every band out there should be making just, if you're on tour, whatever it takes.
Yeah. We started seeing that too with all the like sideshow type things we were doing because we had a lot of stuff like that come through, especially Juanita's. But people would have all kinds of merch. Like if it's a one of a kind thing, those kids will buy it.
I look for that shit now more than I ever did.
Yeah.
I want the poster now.
Yeah.
T-shirt, it's cool. I like a
God.
good tee.
Yeah.
But they fill up my closet, and I don't have closets in this house.
Yeah.
I just have dressers, so fucking...
Man, I was thinking about this, but I love my shirts. So this is my most recent band shirt.
It's a good one.
Tim
Just the
Convey.
keyboard player.
Yeah. So
That's funny as
Tim
shit.
Convey from Ludo, who I did help build here.
Right.
They, played to 10 people and then, sold out 2 nights in a row. But so they do a Halloween show every year in St. Louis where they're from. It's really big.
Okay.
But Tim is a comedian now. And he writes for Nikki Glasser and some
Are
other
you serious?
yeah.
That's awesome.
So he came to the Looney Bin And I was like, oh my God, I have to go see him. But that's one of his jokes is he was, just the
Just a
keyboard
keyboard player.
But this is one of the first shirts I've had in a long time. Because I have
Like a graphic tee.
Yeah, because I have like 5,000.
Oh, I can't. Your collection of T-shirts is probably worth a fortune on the internet.
I wish. And I took pictures last year and posted them on Facebook when I was bored during COVID.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and I was like, okay, wait, I'm going to keep this one. Okay, I'm going to keep this one. And I can't seem to part with them, but I can't just haul them around. But like, I can't think about not being able to physically put it on.
Quilt them.
I've thought about it, but then you have a quilt and no T-shirts.
Fair, but at some point it is just a time capsule.
And I never wear them.
You're never going to, even if you were like, I'm going, like diet, I'm going to wear all these shirts. You're just going to go buy new shit because you're a professional now.
Right.
You have this nice, big, fancy job, and you're not going to wear a fucking He Is Legend tee to your fucking,
I've got some cool ones, but the thing with a quilt too is like, it was 2004, so everything's fucking side print.
Side print.
So you have like a seam.
So you have to cut it all weird and get the seam out.
Yeah.
Damn. I remember side print. Or this.
The sleeve
print.
Yeah.
God,
or
we
the
were so
bottom like
stupid.
left
Yes.
corner. We were stupid. But we had fun as fuck.
As fuck.
We had so much fun.
Scene shirts were the best shirts, by the way. I honestly, if they came back, not upset.
Yeah. Hey,
the all over print.
I'm here for it.
My
Whatever.
favorite one was an attack one, and it was just like one big bird shitting on a bunch of other birds, and the poo spelled attack, and I was like, I only want this shirt because it's bird doo doo.
Yeah,
like so obscene,
dude. So in those times where I was driving to like 5 venues a night, one of the things we had to do was settle the merch.
Yep.
And so you get
you
a
taught
merch.
me how to do that, actually.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you get a cut of the merch, and I always thought it was bullshit. And so I would be like, they didn't sell anything. And Aaron and James would be like, we know they sold something. There were 400 people there.
Right.
And I'm like, sorry, they didn't. But I got you a T-shirt. And they'd be like, all right. So I would trade because it's cheaper to give somebody a T-shirt than it is to give them that cold hard cash. The shirts are bought already.
That's right.
So I would cut deals unless the band was like, unless it was somebody huge or whatever.
Right.
But all the bands that I loved, I was like,
got
hey, let's settle merch. I'll take a medium. And
hey.
So, but there were nights that I literally went home with like
stacks.
Literally stacks.
I was gonna say, I bet you got. I got a few free ones. I got some free ones, but not enough to like fill closets.
I have 3 really big tubs.
Just full of band tees.
Yep.
God, that's awesome.
And cases of CDs, like, because everybody wants you to have their album too. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have.
Take some stickers and a shirt and a CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I wouldn't stick my stickers on nothing.
You kept them?
I still have so many stickers.
Oh, I'm still a sticker nerd. You look at the back of this laptop; it's just covered in them.
Well, I don't want to look like I don't want it to go away. Now I do on like journals and planners and things like that.
Shit
like
you'll keep.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, but I have a scrapbook. I wanted to go to my storage unit and get my scrapbook for this.
That would have been awesome.
But I couldn't find it. But it's like Armor for Sleep and
hey, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Dashboard.
Armor for Sleep.
Like we were hanging out with like Dashboard in the front window of Vino's, like in high school. Like, hey Chris. And then another one that made me laugh was, so on that Dashboard show was Breaking Pangea, and it's Will Noon and Fred, whatever his name is, from
Taking Back Sunday.
Taking Back Sunday.
Maraschino.
Yeah.
Maraschino.
Yeah.
It's a weird ass name.
Yeah.
I call him Fred Maraschino Cherries.
Yeah. So those 2 guys were in a supporting band, and that was the first band T-shirt I ever got. Was Breaking Pangea, and it was
he's just Fred
Rhino.
now.
Yeah, he was the color Fred. He did some stuff. He teaches guitar lessons. Do you remember
the Thrice show at the Tattoo, and it was the park. No one was there.
Yeah.
And and even the guy from Thrice was like, "Hey, they paid us, so we're gonna play. So this is like the rarest thing ever. Like this is a private concert basically for the staff." And then Fred had got word that they were playing and pulls up in his bus. And then we're just standing there with Bud Lights watching fucking
God, I forgot.
Thrice with Fred, and we're all just like, what the fuck even is this? Like, and I mean, somebody, we know who lost their ass, but lost all that money.
Yeah.
We got a private fucking Thrice concert.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's wild.
That was a wild night. I still have a picture with Fred and then the Thrice guy. What's his name? Dustin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. Those Metroplex shows were... So the Vino shit was cool because it was always like I mean, Super Drag and like, I mean, I saw some cool fucking bands.
Awesome bands, fast paced.
Yeah.
Nights were wild.
Yeah. I mean,
You'd go home and just be like, whoa,
yeah.
did that actually happen? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. And my clothes. Like, I just remember like what I wore and so stupid. We thought we were funny. I had like this little squishy octopus keychain and you can see it in my pictures because I got a carabiner with my keys and this fucking octopus
I still rock the
keychain.
carabiner.
Man. Oh. And then when I was really cool, when we do like the Metroplex and stuff, I'd get a radio to add to that outfit. So I'd have like my shoulder radio and my keys and my black
forget
t-shirt.
about those,
and,
yep.
like, and actually my makeup always looked really good. Like somehow like, you know, run on off a little bit, but like enough. Yeah, I thought I was just the bee's knees. But we just had so much fun. But
So much fun.
so those Metroplex shows, like, so they always happened on my birthday. Always.
Really?
Coheed and Cambria happened.
I forgot
That was
about
the first
that
time I ever
show.
saw cocaine was Coheed and Cambria.
The drug or the band?
The drug.
Oh, really? I saw that shit in health
Yeah.
class in like 10th grade.
Damn. Well, this is the first time in real life. And
I watched a dude snort a whole Altoids tin of Coke. Like, with a Bic pen.
Oh, my.
Just fucking rail it out. It was
Damn.
like 3 and then 3 on the lid and just fucking went to town in the middle of health class.
Oh, you meant you saw someone do it in health class.
Like, took his Bic pen apart, fucking just
Oh my
opened this tin.
God.
The coach, who
Oh
was
my
the
God.
teacher, which is always a bad idea, goes to, like, wherever the fuck he's going, handles some coach shit, and then just fucking does a bunch of... And oddly enough,
Oh, my God.
here's full circle. Last time I saw that guy, he was being arrested outside of the Metroplex
Oh, snap.
at the Deftones concert.
Oh, my God. That's wild.
Very wild.
We saw some shit, and I would, at one of the venues I worked at, I was upstairs painting because it was going to be my new office, and I'm moving this old metal desk around, and, you know, I hear something clink, clink on the floor, and I was like, oh, it's a weird spoon. It's all burnt up and flat and has a weird handle, and I took it downstairs. I was like, what do you think this was for? And they're all like, Haley. I was like, oh,
Poor
sorry.
naive Haley.
Yeah. They called me Nancy Reagan because I was a Just Say No cheerleader.
Just say no.
Literally. Literally. Oh, they hated me. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But this dude, we would do the pipe and drape back there.
Yep.
And create hallways
Yep.
and rooms for people. And
Back rooms, green rooms, meet-up rooms, whatever
Yeah.
they need. Yeah.
catering, whatever. And so I walk back there behind this pipe and drape, and I see like 3 different Crown Royal bags out, and they're just being so casual. I'm like, hey, do you need anything or whatever I was going back there to do? And it's the tour manager, and he's like, no, we're good. And I was like,
Oh, shit.
he's doing drugs.
It's real.
They're doing drugs back here. And I was
like
like,
a
Aaron,
movie.
is this okay? Can they? And he was like, there's probably a lot of drugs going on all the time.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
It's like when Snoop came through and bought a suitcase of weed.
He smoked a joint on stage.
Yeah, of course he did. Snoop Dogg. If he did,
But it just felt like, right, like it's so obvious, but I was like, oh, he won't do that here. That's like for TV.
for TV
Yeah.
and show and Instagram. No.
Yeah.
Think
No,
of like
that's
if
real
Willie
life.
Nelson showed up and didn't get high.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, man. That's
That's
kind of
weird.
A bummer.
Speaking of Willie Nelson and old dudes, what's the old super redneck gun guy? We did him at the Metroplex. Oh, what's his name? Ted Nugent.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Nooch. Yeah.
The gun guy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, riff fucking machine, whatever with the other shit. His
Yeah.
last few years, all he seems to be is in the news.
Yeah.
But riffs for days.
Yeah.
Fucking stellar guitar player, but whatever with the other shit.
Yeah.
The fucking I've been trying to think of all like the crazy shit we had to get into. Did you worked some of the river gigs too, right?
Oh my God,
The
my
fucking-
favorite story.
From the river?
Oh my God. Dude, Cinderella and Poison.
You did that one?
Yeah. So I worked for Butch and
Yeah,
Dennis all the
I remember
time.
that.
Yeah. So I worked most of those.
I only worked a handful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was the hottest, longest. That's the most I've ever run in my life. Because to get from one side of the stage to the other is
Oh, yeah.
a haul. So
And if you're going around back, it's curved back there, so you have
Yeah.
to walk all the way around, and then all those storage unit offices.
Yep.
And, yeah.
and then all the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So poison. Bret Michaels eats fried chicken from KFC.
Look at him.
Every
Of course he does.
every day. Every day. We had fried chicken for catering that day for lunch, and I still had to go pick up 1,000 pounds of KFC. And I was like, didn't they eat fried chicken at lunch? And the tour manager was a woman. She was like, he likes KFC. I was like, okay, cool. Okay, so now think about this, okay? So it's right before they're about to go on stage, and I've been running all day.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't just buy things in bulk. Like, if you're going on tour and you have a trailer, get a bunch of fucking guitar strings. Like, make yourself a little toolbox.
It's free to them.
Like, just pile it up.
Yeah.
Why am I going? I went to Guitar Center like 7 times in one day.
Yeah.
And it's 30 minutes away from downtown. But I had good friendships with all those dudes. So, all right. Their tummies probably hurt from all that KFC.
From all the KFC.
So it's like 10 minutes before they're going on stage.
They need some Pepto.
They needed Pepto.
Shit.
Bad.
They're all 50,
So,
60.
yeah.
They just ate a bucket of fried chicken each.
Twice.
Oh, my God.
So I go to Walgreens on like 12th Street because it's the closest thing. And I'm a little girl, and I'm walking around, be booping around and what at that time it was pretty dangerous part of town. So maybe it wasn't even 12th. Maybe it was further than that. But anyway, I come back and I've got Pepto and all the stuff. One's like liquid, one's pills, one's Chewies and Tums. And they basically hand me a silver platter, and I have to run up on the stage, and I'm ducking behind, a sub, and I've like got a silver platter with Bret Michaels Pepto. And he like ducks over there. He runs out and does his thing, and then he's gonna do his come on thing. You know how they walk to the back and kind of give it a second to warm up. So he's doing that, and he comes back there. He goes, "Oh, thank you, baby. I was about to shit my pants." I've told that story so many times. That was so good.
Apparently, he just played a show, and all the fans are like, "Can you not?" They're supposed to go on tour.
Oh.
And it was so bad. They're like, "Can you get the other guy who covered for you last time?"
Oh, shit.
Can you imagine? He looks fucking... the KFC caught up.
Yeah.
The man looks like he's Jell-O. Like, he's got a Jell-O body.
No.
Like, his body is just like, his face is all... what's those dogs with the lips?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That poor bastard.
That MTV or VH1 show he had, the Rock of Love thing.
And wasn't he like in his late 40s for that shit, too?
Yeah.
God.
And he looked older than that. I mean, he looked bad.
He looks terrible.
The lifestyle, man.
But he's got all the fucking money in the world. His band still sells more records than most bands. Like,
yeah.
Just eat chicken that's not fried.
Yeah, like once a week.
Yeah, you'll feel so much better. Maybe add some green beans or something in there. Fuck, dude. I can't speak much, but I didn't get... That dude looks like an old, worn-out bloodhound.
Yeah.
Just gut. Probably the booze, too, though. I bet booze is a huge player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet that dude boozes like crazy.
He's probably been through like several incarnations of being sober and not and everything else. That's
especially
kind of the
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are their story. Well, Sweet Connie, died
she just
recently.
Passed, R.I.P.
R.I.P. But she was at that show for show.
I bet she was.
She was
another Arkansas legend.
Yeah. Yeah. Doing her dance, doing her thing. She was always cool though. Man, there's a lot of legends just amongst ourselves. We've all been around for a long time, and
I think some of the bands from here, you look at them and you're like, that guy's a fucking legend. You might not know who he is, but he's a fucking legend.
Yeah,
he does shit you'd never even understand.
Yeah, it's like all the guys from the Big Cats and Ashtray Babyhead and Ho Hum.
Ho Hum.
Yeah.
Damn, I have one of their CDs.
Yeah.
Back there in my collection of old band shit.
That was another place that taught me how to I didn't have friends. CD Warehouse and Anthropop.
There you go.
So Brooks Tipton worked at CD Warehouse when I was in high school.
That's awesome.
And he I
haven't heard that name either in forever.
Yeah. So he had a screen printing place down on Main Street.
Yeah.
Right next to where Ferguson Skate Park, and Old Juanita's used to be. And him and his wife, Shannon, had that place for a while. They just sold it to ARTs or something like that. But they'd been there for a hot minute. But he was playing with Manchester Orchestra, touring around. But when I was in high school, I lived off Henson, and I would walk and CD warehouse was at Henson and Ronnie Parham. And
I remember that spot. Yeah.
So they would polish your CDs.
Yep.
So
Them and Hastings did it.
Yep.
Yep.
I would walk down the street, and it was like 4 miles from my house, but I had nothing else to do.
And we're young, and back then getting kidnapped wasn't a common fucking thing.
Yeah. And so Brooks would polish my CDs, and then he'd be like, "Here, why don't you borrow this one?" And I mean, it was like a movie. Like, it was cool as fuck.
Awesome.
Yeah. He taught me a lot about music.
I got that from a few people. The people who, like, when you're young and they're like, "Oh no, check this out." You know, I have those people in my repertoire too. Those are the people I always am like the most fond of too. Because I'm like, I would have never known about any of this shit.
Yeah.
But maybe it ruined my life, but maybe not. I've
Yeah.
had a great life.
Yeah.
But man, like you said, $20 on a Friday after working all motherfucking day in the heat. You're just like, I guess I'm going to go get drunk.
And
That's where the drugs come into play.
Yeah. And the best practice too, like, you know, I remember being like, well, shouldn't we tell them what we're going to pay them before they come to work? And everybody's like, no, we don't do that. And I remember I hired my friend. Is there a band called? Oh, what are they called?
I will say when we
Opex?
win, I think that's
Okay.
it. I will say Opeth.
Opeth.
That bitch. I have their pedal board. They left it.
Fuck.
I still have it.
Well, I hired my friend that loved that band.
Yeah.
He was a guy I had a crush on in one of my college classes. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, you can come work the show and, like, meet the band. And that was my little flex back then. And so him and his friends came, and they were loading. And honestly, they probably would have done it for free anyway.
Yep.
But I told them, I was like, yeah, it's a big show. We'll probably pay you, like, $40 or something. And we did. But I remember it being like a thing, like Aaron and James were like, you told them that? I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of
they're
had
the
to.
new kids. That's
Yeah.
the ticket.
Yeah.
When you're new, you work for free.
Right. Yeah.
Been there. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to see the show? Why don't you load some of this shit in the door?
Well,
Okay.
And the shitty part was when it was a massive show and 1,012,000 people, but you still lost your ass. And so,
Isn't it fucked up?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many people, which means you've worked harder, you've done more, had to push cases
Especially,
through more
like,
people.
Village stuff. It was we were security. We were
Yep.
that. We were doing merch stuff. We were like we were
Everything.
everything all at the same
Yeah.
time.
That shit at the Village was
It was fucking,
next
it
level.
was a fever dream.
Dude, it
Fucking
was.
Shit was like it. I don't know what acid is like, but I bet it was a lot
Yeah.
like that.
Dude, Queens of the Stone Age, and The Used. I remember Bert was he came off that stage and collapsed outside,
Yeah.
and he said, "No one told me there wasn't fucking air conditioning at this venue."
Nope.
I would have walked off. I don't know why people played through that misery. It was hot.
Well, yes. Because you're in there all fucking day. It did have AC, but it just couldn't keep up.
couldn't, no,
It was made
yeah.
to be a movie theater,
Yeah.
not a fucking venue. So
Yeah.
the doors are open. Those big giant doors at the front and the back are open
Yeah.
all fucking day
And
because
there's
you're in there loading.
10,000 people.
And then 10,000 people come in the room. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
All the energy and all the electricity and all the equipment and everything else. Yeah, that shit was a nightmare. But it was so fun. Like,
So
those were the
fucking fun.
days.
I have so many good memories from that shit.
Yeah.
I remember two Chiodos, they came through and their guitar player, and I remember sitting back in the back, like talking shit with him. He's just noodling around, like bands are playing, and we're just back there, like, yeah, man, blah, like, oh, did you see this band? Oh, fuck yeah, man, I love that. Like we bonded with Beloved because nobody ever saw them. They broke up before they even got super fucking famous, but everyone who knows, they're like, this band started it all. They
Yeah.
were so far ahead of their fucking
Yeah.
time. And we're sitting back there bullshitting, blah, blah, and so that show was great for that moment. But then also, one funny thing I remember is they left all their catering, and it was from Moe's. But all the tortillas were gone. So I remember loading, walking down, seeing like the washer dryer right there, grabbing a fistful of chicken, and just walking back in and just eating clumps of chicken while I'm like, trying to talk and work. Fucking just disgusting. Just, y'all want a chicken clump?
Fistful of chicken.
Then you go back, get a little cheese, put that in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Just make and do.
Yeah. I ate so much pizza that probably,
Many a nights I emptied that beer cooler.
dude.
Like,
I
we're taking
think
all this home.
That's when I started drinking heavy. Man,
Oh.
I remember those shows at the new Juanita's. I'd
Boozing
pour
like
myself
crazy.
a little drink and keep it in the ice well and just get a little sip,
Just-
you know?
yeah.
And it was a big cup. It was a 16-ounce cup because I had to make it look like soda.
Right.
But everybody, I mean, that's no secret. James and Aaron would be like, yeah, we all fucking drank behind the bar, which
Everyone drink.
is totally illegal. Like you
Is it?
can't- Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I see. I didn't even know
you
that.
can't be drunk and serve other people
Why not?
because then your inhibition is fucked up.
Oh, because you have to. Oh, yeah, because now you have to watch out for them. That's
Yeah.
not your fucking problem either.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
She was
I
wild.
don't like that law. They
Yeah.
run off and get in a car crash. It's on you.
Well, ABC was after us at the Village anyway. Remember that shit?
Oh, that's why
because
we're gone.
Butch Stone
Yeah.
made sure that we had, and that was over John Love. That had nothing to do with Blake.
No, I knew it.
They
didn't.
just hated
oh,
John.
Trust me, I know.
And it was just set up. We had to pay a cop
It was fucked.
if we were going to serve alcohol.
That's right.
And it was like $150, $200 or something.
Yep.
So bare minimum to open up the bar.
Every time.
Yeah, every time.
And then they started sending in plants, and I just went downhill real
Yeah.
fast.
That shit was nuts.
I think I'm the only person that sat outside and cried like a big stupid baby when that place closed.
Aw.
I was so emotional.
I had moved
And
to
it was fucking
Tulsa.
ICP was the last show.
The Fago was 6 inches deep. Yeah.
In the floor.
Yeah.
This is why that's impressive, though. That floor had a giant hole in it
Yeah.
that was 10 feet deep
Yeah.
and full of water.
Yeah. It had a
and
grate. It had a
Yeah.
grate. And there was still.
Still.
Can you imagine? And
You
they
were
were.
like walking
Yeah.
across a flooded street, and it was all soda. Also, fun fact, those guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They were so fucking nice.
Yeah.
Their whole crew is nice as fuck. And they buy every single drop of that Fago soda. They will not sponsor them. Fago
Really?
won't sponsor
Oh,
ICP.
yeah. I did know that. And it
They buy
came
it
on a
all.
pallet. Remember?
Yep.
They bought it by the pallet.
Yes, they buy it by the pallets, and one semi was Fago, and one semi was their gear. They
Yeah.
rolled 2 semis, and one's just for soda. All that money. That driver's making $1,200 a day.
Yeah.
The fucking truck probably costs another $5,000 to rent. I was like, y'all are fucking crazy. Why?
Yeah. But they are crazy. I mean,
they
that's the
use it.
thing. And
Like,
it worked.
it was so much fun, though.
Oh, it was one of the funnest shows. And I mean, honestly, there were so many fun shows where they were just like, 500 of your favorite bands on one bill.
That's
We
right.
got to do that a lot. But the shows that I had the most fun at were definitely not the bands that I wanted to watch. Guar and Mushroom Head. And I'm not into metal. Like, that's not my thing. It's
Right,
never
right.
been my thing. That's why I've always kind of been a weird, outsider in this industry even.
Well,
It's just not my jam.
more of a business professional rather than a...
Yeah.
Because when it's your business...
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. Honestly, the best promoters will tell you don't book the shit you listen
I
to.
was waiting for that to come up because Fletcher always did say that.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's not fucking true. My record collection made us a ton of fucking money.
At the time.
It really did.
I don't know about now.
Yeah.
Now it's
no.
hard. Here,
Yeah.
anyway. I don't know
Yeah.
about, you go to a place like Dallas even, which is just 4 hours away now. And you're like, well, there's 6 million people here.
Yeah.
8 million people here.
Well-
They're going to fill up.
Well, we went to Dallas 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
for Kesha and Ben Queller.
Okay.
I love fucking Kesha. She opened up for Mickey Avalon at the Village.
Before
Back-
she was famous.
Yeah, it was
Again.
right when TikTok happened.
That's right.
And she had her own buckets of glitter and Kesha condoms set on the front of the stage.
pretty awesome.
And she would do a flip and then throw the bucket of glitter on you. And yeah, we took pictures with her and she traded t-shirts with one of my friends and she
That's
was really awesome. So it's really cool to see her doing so awesome. I just like her. I think she's
I do
fun.
too. Didn't she go through a bunch of bullshit?
Yeah, Dr. Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, she can't play one of her. There's a whole album, like
That
one
she
of her
can't
best
play?
albums. She can't play it.
What if she re-records it?
She could, but
Because
she
that's
was,
what Emery had to do. Universal bought Solid State's back catalog and fucked all the bands out of their stuff.
Oh shit!
So they don't have the rights to their masters or anything like that. So like Emery is still a band, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
But they just were like, okay, fuck you. We're just going to re-record it.
Yeah.
And we're going to record it the new way that we've been, because live.
Yeah.
And it changes after a decade of playing those
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
So now there's a new version of these albums out that they sell on their own.
Interesting.
Dude, and it's fucked too. Like they put out a vinyl of I'm Only a Man. And the same fucking day, so did Universal.
What?
Same day.
Dude, this business
Just to fuck them over.
is so shady.
The shadiest shit.
It really is. And like, I think about, like, I was 16 on the phone with William Morris. Like,
Right.
you know, like, who let that fucking happen? Signing contracts? Like,
Hey!
yeah. Is Sugar Cult available next weekend? I did that shit, though. I did. And I mean, I was like 17, and this isn't about like me and tooting my own horn because I didn't do anything special. And that's what so you can't book your record collection, all this stuff. And Fletcher did teach me a lot. And
He taught me a lot too, but through anger.
yeah.
I told him that when he was on the podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, I used
Well,
to
I wouldn't
fucking
listen to
hate
it.
you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We've, you know, it was interesting. And, you know, he's a big part of, he let me do this. You
Right.
know, he really did. He let me do whatever I want. And he would always tell me, we'd sit on the roof and he'd be like, you know, we'll let you have the keys to the kingdom one day. Like all this.
Don't go to the
Lion
roof
King.
now. The
Was-
kingdom.
yeah.
Well, back then it was a kingdom,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, every show fucking was sold out.
Yeah. It was.
Oh, I miss that shit.
Yeah.
And it was for no reason.
No. And we would pack, there were literally, and I can't remember now, I think it was, Built to Spill was the biggest
Wow.
show there, until like 2005 when we were
Then it was Story of the
doing
Year.
more. Yeah.
That one was
Man.
unfucking
Story of the
believable.
Year open for Sugar Cult at Vino's.
Wow.
By the way. Yeah. But
And
no,
then
it was around the building and the fire department was across the street. And so we'd be like, you know, well, we had to think about it all the time. We'd be like, okay, we'll have 3 lines and we're going
Make it
to
look
zigzag
smaller.
you through the back, you know, and between
I've
the
seen
art
those shows.
store and
I've been in those lines. Yeah.
yeah, man,
Or you'll open up 2 doors. You'll
Mm-hmm.
do the side door and the other
Yeah.
door so it looks less.
So Sam and I, on those shows where you literally couldn't move,
Yep.
and I didn't feel the crushing weight of it all because I wasn't in the middle of it. I was on the outside,
Yeah.
and I had to get through. So I just did.
Yeah.
And so we would open that side door, and there was a water spigot,
Yep.
and we would fucking fill up buckets
With
and
water.
dip cups to fill them up, and pass
hand
them
to
out in
people.
the front row.
What else could you do?
That's so gross.
It's okay.
Dirty hand. Oh, it was so gross.
Listen,
It was,
they're already gross.
Yeah.
And chances are, if you're going to Vino's, you've got a hint of grossness
Yeah.
just as your
Yeah.
persona.
yeah.
You know, you don't see a lot of people. I guess during the day you see a lot of people in suits, but at
Yeah.
night, that place is a enigma.
Mm-hmm.
Because during the day, all suits, lunch as usual. They're all eating with forks and
Mm-hmm.
shit. At night, the crustiest crusties of all fucking time. Got 3 cigarettes in their
Yeah.
hand, just fucking. What do you want?
My parents, so my dad would drop me off at like Ultimate Fake Book, and I remember asking him for money for a band T-shirt. It was one of the first shirts I bought too. Still have it. And we were hanging out. I was eating a slice of pizza, you know, back there, and then they had a light box, and they would switch the switch, you know.
Yep.
Well, they would hand it to somebody in the front row and be like, "Okay, make the lights go," and then they'd, you know,
While
stand
they
on
were
the rock
playing?
box.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fun as shit. That's a good idea.
It was really cool.
I might steal that shit.
Yeah.
And that's a 20-year-old idea. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
So it's easy now, you know.
Every time.
You could do some shit with a computer. and-
Bluetooth now. I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
download this app real quick.
Yeah.
Y'all control the lights.
That would be cool. But we were just getting like, you know, squished and spraying water on people, and now you got phones and cameras to watch out for. But back then, you know, we would just pour water on people.
You know, phones are waterproof now.
Shit, my phone's never gonna be waterproof.
You break them. Are you a dropper?
Man, I've
Yeah.
had. Remember, I used
Do
to
you
bring
case
you my
up?
broken. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Corey was
Oh.
my go-to Apple person for
Everyone.
everything. Yeah.
Everyone. I still am. Hey, it says this.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, hit these 2 buttons. What'd it do? You know, I can
Yeah.
do it like it's the back of my fuck. I mean, I've had them. I had them before it was cool. I've
Yeah.
always been out. Even when I was young, we had one way, way, way back.
Yeah.
So it's just been in my life forever. So it's like the operating system is literally just like this. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
You changed out my keyboard for me once and battery. Did
Lots
something
of
with the battery.
batteries.
Yeah.
Lots of batteries.
Man, we had fun. We used to make videos like upstairs while everybody else was downstairs enjoying the show. We'd be upstairs making like goofy, you know, pictures and photo booth and making
Photo
videos.
booth. Oh, shit. If I could find those old pictures.
Oh god, I still have one of my old ass
Old,
computers.
old hard drive
Yeah.
dives. Oh, man, I've got a couple. Like just there, I keep them in plastic, and I'm like, one of these days I'll plug those in and just
Yeah.
go through all the crazy amount of shit.
I saved a lot of shit to a flash drive and put it in an envelope and labeled it Haley's
Mm-hmm.
old ass pictures.
I've been printing stuff a lot lately because I realize that digital is just kind of bullshit.
You're gonna get lost. I mean,
It's too many.
it's gone.
So I go through and let it fail. It's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So I've been going through like very small amounts, like 20 at a time. Like my office is back there, and I have my whole table is just filled with little 4x4 squares of photos, because I'm not getting like big prints.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Just something to hold on to.
Yeah.
That I'll put in a book and then
Yeah.
store away like a flash drive.
Right. No, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
My mom had Fiestaware dishes. And so when we literally would take our cameras and, get the film printed, from these shows.
Oh, yeah.
I have some funny pictures from some
My
shows.
first Warped Tour 04, I have the pictures from my point and shoot, because they would sell
Yeah.
point and shoots
Yeah.
at the fucking door.
Yeah. I have never been to Warped Tour.
That's fucking crazy. How have you never been to Warped Tour?
It's fucking always working.
That's the most fun. I went 04, 06, and I really wanted to go to the very last one, but I was kind of like, man, is that bullshit? Mm-hmm. I think it is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I think there was some sort of thing they like had to do. I bet they come back.
Fletcher did give me a t-shirt. I didn't want to say his name this much, but he brought me a t-shirt from
Warped Tour?
the first. It was like the pre-Warp Tour. It's
Oh,
like whatever Warp Tour
when it was like out
came
in
from.
California only.
Yep. He gave me this
Wow.
like super rare shirt. It's pretty cool. I have it in a box with all my other shirts.
Have you gone to eBay with some of the shit you have
No,
and
I
just
probably
see the
should.
fucking...
I have like a kazoo from a band that made kazoos. I have keychains. I have a Bayside necklace like they sold with like their bird
yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
I have some random.
I remember Thursday
Merch.
sold like belts and socks and shit. They
Oh,
always
yeah,
had the
yeah,
merch
yeah.
game. Their merch game was so strong.
The belts, the fucking belts. I have one from the Knockout Kings.
and
Those
they had
dudes are cool.
the dots would go further, so you could remember you wore your belt on
Yeah.
your side.
Yeah.
Front buckling was for losers.
Yeah.
We buckle on the side.
We buckle on the
And
side.
so the print was offset, so it would be
Yeah.
adjacent.
Oh
Fucking
my
stupid.
god. Thursday was a huge show at Vino's.
Massive.
Really big.
Yeah.
That may have been the show I was thinking of, not Build to Spill. I don't know if Build to
My
Spill.
buddies opened that show, and like the next week, Thursday, went through the fucking roof with
Yeah.
that album.
Yeah, it was.
It was the next week.
We were all like, I just remember leaving that show going, copies of
Uh-huh.
copies, like just saying that over and over because we were like, like, what does that mean?
That dude was a lyricologist. He said shit in order, but you were like, I don't know what any of this means.
Mm. Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah,
Division Street, that song kicks fucking ass.
dude.
Every time I pass Division Street going to Dallas, I'm like, I'm gonna steal that fucking
Yeah.
sign one day. But it's too fucking big.
Damn. Yeah, shit was cool. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of cool things that other people didn't get to do.
That's the thing. That's what it is, really.
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps you going back. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but man, when I'm 50, like I'm almost 40, and I've got so many stories.
Yeah.
So many. I've barely scratched the surface even on here. There's
Yeah.
shit I've forgotten I've done that people will be like, hey, remember when? And you're like, oh, fuck. Dude, I completely forgot about that shit. And it'll be like some crazy, awesome story. And just, I've had so many.
I'm losing them. Like, I was racking my brain.
Well, how long have you not been in music?
10 years.
Yeah,
I mean, when I moved to Tulsa,
I remember.
and that was like 2009,
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of wanted to get away. Aaron was going through some personal
His
stuff,
yeah,
and I was realizing I worked all the time.
all the time.
Like, literally I hung out there,
I know.
I didn't feel like I had any real friends. I was like, these people are only here
Oh,
because we're
yeah,
here.
right.
We had some people like y'all. Like, I was thinking about like y'all's wedding and stuff, and I was like, who else did I go to anybody's house? Did I do
Right.
anything?
Not a lot.
And I lived with,
We all hung
guys
out with
in a
each
band.
other, though. Exactly, yeah.
and so it was like our house was kind of a chill place, but I was never involved in that. I would show up and there'd be people there.
Right.
I made friends with touring bands that played here all the time, and we'd hang out when they were here, and I felt like we had some solid connections,
Right.
I didn't make all that up. But man, I was just like, I gotta go. So I moved to Tulsa, thought I'd start over, and then I was like, I'm not Little Rock Haley here. No one knows who the fuck I am.
Fresh.
And I thought that was going to be a cool thing, but I was so poor.
Really.
They paid me like my apartment cost $450 a month, which now is like, what?
I wish.
Like, and it was on Cherry Street. Like, it was a cool part of town in Tulsa. Worked for a really cool group that did shows all across
Oh, so you went to music, but in Tulsa. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And that was kind of the last. It was really 2012 when I finally stepped away for sure because so I did the Tulsa thing,
Yep.
came back, ended up in Fayetteville,
I remember
did the
that.
Rogue thing,
Yep.
but I lived above the venue.
Right.
And so I was going to school. So I'd walked. It was on Dixon Street.
Yep.
So I'm walking up the hill to class, and I was also miserably poor. Didn't have heat, didn't have air. It was an apartment up there that was basically supposed to be like a green room.
Oh.
But the guy that owned the venue was just a loser. And, I was like, okay, this will be part of my payment. So I'd book shows,
Yeah.
and I'd go downstairs, and I'd make myself a pizza. And, I had
Yep.
access to sodas and water and everything
Even when it
there.
was closed?
Yeah.
That's wicked.
I made some good pizza.
God, I would have been 4,000 pounds just sitting there like, what do you guys want?
That's all I ate. I was tired of it. And I got really sick, and it was snowing in my apartment. Like the ceiling collapsed.
What the
And
fuck?
my dresser got filled up with snow and water. There's water everywhere in that apartment. And I was like, okay, I'm defeated.
Yeah.
I'm done.
That's the bottom.
And there was articles like that could have been a great opportunity for me because the newspapers were writing about me coming up there.
Yeah.
They were like, maybe we'll have some competition for George's. And Brian Crown and I were, cool.
Sure.
Aaron and I did lots of shows
At George's?
at George's.
Yeah, I remember.
And
Yeah, I worked a few of those shows.
yeah, it was like Flyleaf like 10 times and then whoever else. But it was cool. And it was, so I had good relationships and my best friend lived there and my current girlfriend and I met during this time.
Really?
Yeah, she was in Dreamfest.
Wow.
Yeah, she plays bass for Dreamfest.
Okay.
Or did 10 years ago.
Did? Yeah.
Yeah, so up there, that could have been like this whole cool thing. And I just was tired.
Yeah.
And the emotional side was starting to catch up with me. And I was like, this is not my
That's when
dream
it's the
anymore.
worst.
Yeah.
Dead behind the eyes, don't
Yeah.
care, just fucking jaded as shit.
I'll never forget sitting at a kickball game. And because, that's when the kickball leagues all kind of got started.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Everybody was playing fucking kickball.
We were at kickball.
Serious, non-serious, blah, blah, blah. You
Yeah.
know, kegs at every fucking stop. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So we had fun, but we were out there and it was like, music people were on this kickball team, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this band called Rolo Tsunami. And they did this cover of, what's the Pixie song?
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, the one everybody does.
Yeah.
But it was like, and remember, I never did drugs, okay? All right?
I know.
I walked in when they were playing an open mic night at my venue that I had just moved up there for. It was like my first night in town. And this band is playing this song. And it was I was like, am I getting punked? Like, I really thought somebody was playing a joke on me.
Really?
They were so bad. It was the worst thing I'd heard.
What?
I thought I was high. I was like, this is not real. This is
can't be
not
real.
reality.
It's that bad?
It was that bad. It was
Oh
the
my
worst thing
God.
I've ever heard. It was awful.
Are you serious?
It was awful. And it was this little girl singer. And God love her. Like, she's nice. Live your dreams, girlfriend. Like, I
Sure,
say,
sure.
play
Hey,
music.
And you have to suck to get
No
better.
hate. Yeah.
Sure.
Like, for real, it sounds like a hater thing.
No, it's not.
But it was just
What's
the
a
reality.
more experienced thing?
Yeah.
You see it. You have to suck.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You just have to.
And good on her. And they had
Yeah.
some people that would come see him on
There
a
you go.
Wednesday.
Perfect.
She called me though, and she called me constantly trying to get a fucking show. And I was like, I put you on once a month. What else do you want? Like, that's a
plenty.
lot.
That's a lot.
Nobody needs to play a show more
We
than
play like twice a year now.
Yeah, like, I mean, it wasn't a good formula for anybody, except for, like, did
Haste
you just need
today
a practice
because-
space? Yeah. There's like 20 bands we could say that about here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, my girlfriend lives here, man. Can we play like every other Friday? But it would sell out every
Every
other
time.
fucking Friday. Jesus.
Oh, God. That's funny. But yeah, Frail Vision too. They did that. But
Yeah.
they were local though. But yeah, anyway, so she called me and I was at that fucking game and I was trying to hang out and I was just hot and tired and she fucking said, I've been calling you and you have not answered in 3. And I was
Oh, you
like,
snapped.
oh, I just lost it.
Oh no.
I lost it. I was like, listen, your band sucks. I've been very kind to you. I told you I was sick 3 days ago. And I was at that game, like sweating it out. Like
Sure.
I had had a really bad sinus infection.
Yep.
And I was just fucking miserable and I was so mad. And she was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, we're
I've
done.
been on the other side of that conversation
Yeah.
before.
It was so
You
bad.
suck.
And I never told people that. Like, I was always encouraging.
I know some people it defeats, but I think it's designed to.
Yeah.
It's like when people ask comedians, so what do I do to be a stand-up comedian? Don't.
Yeah.
If that makes you don't, then you were never going to do it.
Well, and you had the conversation with Fletcher about,
Yeah.
him telling you.
It was a deterrent.
Yeah.
It was like, you're either going to get good and bring 200 people to my fucking venue because it's my business, or you're not going to do shit. And you're going to go not be another just other fucking band in the fucking lexicon of bands
yeah,
that we have to choose from.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I don't think you can do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
But back then, it was very effective.
No, and now everybody records everything and
Well, I mean, it made us literally, like we said, fuck you, we're gonna, and we went and got good.
Yeah. And
came back and sold out fucking Vinos.
Yeah.
Like, it worked.
That's why I wanted to be in this industry. I wanted to put on the shows. So so Juanita's started doing, it became easier to get into Juanita's because we stole the Fresh Blood model from Vinos. That's what I was getting at earlier with the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday thing. I totally forgot I never made that point, but it was really just about giving people a chance, but also they're eager. It's more exclusive. So we did that for a year and made money on that shit.
I still think they should bring it back and do it at not a loss, but at a venue cover only. Mm-hmm.
That's what we did.
You ain't getting no money.
Oh, we didn't pay the bands.
Because, now a normal show but when we were going to shows, it was $5. $7, you were like, the fuck? $7?
I know, 13, you better be fucking...
You better be fucking...
Under oath.
Yeah, under oath. That's the only band anybody... But now we're pushing 20 because of the pandemic and the less numbers.
Yeah.
And so 10, I'm like, yo, if you can get a band in here on a Thursday night, it's new for $5, you stand a good chance to make some real fucking money, especially at your bar. Because here's the thing, the new bands, you're not great. Sorry. I'm sorry. Unless you're a bunch of seasoned musicians who got together and decided we're going to go kick ass. But when you're a kid, it's just, you've never played a show. It's so fucking different.
Yeah.
And you're just going to suck for a little bit till you figure it out, and then you'll get better. But I've been saying that shit. I was like, we need to bring that whole Thursday model back. Maybe after COVID, it would be a good time for somebody to adapt it, because it worked like a motherfucker back then.
I still think there's a model. I mean, I used to, in high school, I would just doodle venues. Like, what's my venue going to look like? How's it going to be laid out? And I'd plan the food. And
I've straight done that.
There was a place.
I think sandwiches is the best.
So I wanted to do, like, tacos and pizza and everything. It would have never made money, but I wanted to do everything.
What do you want? Just say it. We'll make it.
Now that I worked in restaurants, that would have been a terrible fucking idea. But,
we're old plans. Chicago.
Oh, and the names I came up with. Oh, God. I'll never tell.
Oh, okay.
Hell no. Yeah, it had experience in it here and there. The name.
I actually thought of, if I ever did one attached to my life now and with this podcast, I would call it the Crash Castle.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool stuff.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I named it after people in bands or like,
of
trying to be like discreet, but also like, it's like, yeah.
Kill Whitney's shed. It's a shed venue.
Oh God. Yeah, it was bad, but I don't know I think there's still a place for it. And as long as it could be versatile and you could still use it for a venue for other things, practice spaces upstairs. I've always said that should be a thing.
2 stories is so important for one that's going to keep lasting.
Yeah. And remember at the Village how we had the projection room?
Uh-huh.
I mean, having that view of the stage from the top.
It was like a second green room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. A green room where you could hear your thoughts instead of the one off the side of the stage.
Right.
Yeah, but I think there's a place for that here. And I think I still would want to do it. Like,
I know I would. It's just,
I could do it again.
It's all about what it would really take, I think, is just some fucking person being like, yo, that's dope. Hey, I've got this building.
Yeah.
All you gotta make is the electricity. We just do it.
That shit used to happen. We used to come up with shit and they would just do it. I would be like, Aaron, where did you meet this guy? I remember the guy.
That shit does not happen
that
anymore.
bankrolled and he did the bodega and stuff too. Yep. Like, that was a whole thing. But you're only naive once. And I think that's what would hold me back from doing anything now. Like, I know Chris and Suzanne have now 25-year relationships.
Right.
Fuck, 30-year relationships with some of these bands and agents and whatever.
Right.
Now, there's always new blood. There's always going to be...
What's going to always turn over.
Yeah, and there's going to be a rookie agent that has the little roster. Like, I could... Like Mike Marquis and
It would have to be for
his name?
love. At no money. Like it's something I do on the weekends.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the fuck's here because the bills are paid.
Yeah.
If you come or not, the bills are paid. That's the fucking ticket.
Yeah, but you gotta have the vibe because it's not the same.
But you can put the vibe in there. I think the people that work, dude, imagine
Yeah.
if all of us got together and just
Oh, I
fucking
know.
had a venue.
That would be
How
so fun.
motherfucking crazy awesome it would be.
I could still work like the morning shift like a regular person, and you guys would be like, "Yeah, we'll eat this shit up. We'll do it."
Yeah, man. Fucking, oh, well, we were here till 2 o'clock last night because none of us had to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, so like Ellis Industries, like he had all the drive-through bands, Andrew Ellis, and as they came up. So did you ever watch the Drive-Through Records DVDs or anything?
No.
Oh man, we were into
Drive-Through
that.
Records, DVDs, no.
And
No,
Warped
not
Tour
theirs.
DVDs.
I've seen a
stuff.
bunch, of course,
Yeah, but we were obsessed. We would learn everything about these bands.
Yeah.
And like their inside jokes. We were so awkward. Like tour managers would come through and we're like, "Hey." Like Indy Powers, I
they'd
still
say the
talk to
thing.
him, and I'm like, "Hey, Indy, I know you used to be Brand New's tour manager," and he's like with some other band, and you know whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, Blue Canoe or whatever funny thing from the video." They were probably like, "What the fuck?" But we were just naive and we didn't care,
Right.
and we thought we were like
Let's do an
a part of it.
Isn't it weird how the new, bright, fresh, and fluffy, yet to be shit all over person, and then the jaded person who's just like,
Yeah.
and you don't even understand. When you're this kid, you don't even, this is where you're headed. This is your future.
I remember handwriting posters and flyers.
Of course.
And I would have to make one
Clipping them.
and clip it, copy it.
That's right.
And then put it on a 4-up, do it myself, and go to Kinko's. And I spent so much time.
So much fucking time.
And money. Like, you mess that up the first, 5 times,
Oh, man. That's why I test
And then
prints.
hand cut.
Hand cut every fucking one of them. You'd be in
Sucked.
Kinko's with that fucking thing.
Yeah. If you're
they
lucky.
had the big one, a lot of times it was this
Little
one.
yeah.
Or a set of scissors. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can cut it over there. And you're like,
Yep.
I'm going to be here all day. Especially handbills.
Oh, yeah. And they would send you an ad mat, and so you could print it. And, like, I didn't know how to work shit for shit, back then. But
None of us did. It
doing
was all
that
new.
all by hand and doing everything
Yeah.
day in, day out. But, like, I just didn't give a fuck. So I remember drawing these posters. So me and one of my friends from back in the day sat upstairs at Juanita's one night when there was a show because that's where we would hang out, even if
Right.
I wasn't, like, the only one there. I was still
Right.
working or not, whatever
Yeah.
it was. And we drew all these posters. We found this 11 by 17 like glossy paper and like Sharpies and like made all this
Hell yeah.
stuff with our own art and put it all up in the windows at Juanita's. And Marlo, Aaron Hurley's
Yeah.
wife,
Yep.
goes, "Well, looks like Haley decided to get crafty tonight." But she was so, she was like, wasn't like, "Oh, cool, we didn't have posters. You
Yeah.
made some." She was like, "Okay."
Well, that's the thing. It's like your 27-year-old son that still lives at your house. And you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's me, by the way.
So weird. Anyway, I don't know. Shit was cool. It was fun.
I had such a good fucking time, man.
Learned a lot.
It was, it's irreplaceable. I wouldn't change a fucking thing. I mean, I know some of it sucked. Most of it sucked. But it got us, especially for me anyway, it's like I kept going. I have all that knowledge and I
Yeah.
still use it to this day. So like, it's still very valuable to me. And that's why I did this mainly was to just try to get it out of my brain, invite friends on to,
Yeah.
because it is fucking incredible. Like all the shit we went through, I still wouldn't trade it for nothing.
No. And I think all the time, like, sometimes I'll be, like, laying in the bathtub and, like, just a memory will come to me.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, my God. That was, like, first of all, I can't believe I was a part of that. Yeah. And, like, just in some of the stories, like, a lot of my stories, too, like, when I talk about trauma, there was a lot. This was a great experience for me, but it was also really traumatic.
Yeah, sure.
And I have a lot of stuff now
Especially
that
being
I'm...
a girl at
Yep.
that time,
Yeah.
they're like all guys.
Yeah.
All
And it
guys.
was, it's not like I was some hot piece walking around but I was number one, the only piece walking around a lot of times.
Right.
And it doesn't always mean, I don't know. There's different ways that could go or be explained or
Right.
talked about and explored, but there was a lot but it was still mostly good. And when these memories unlock, it's like sometimes I just want to get my own, like start just writing it out.
Right.
Because it's hard to express like what we felt. Like we were friends, like that
know.
group of people.
Oh, it was.
We had these unique experiences that no one else could understand. I can't even explain it. I was like trying to come up with stories, and I was like, oh, I could talk about when I ran away to St. Louis. That was how I got into this. And we could talk about this show and this show and this show. And it's like, man, I just can't even put a lot of it into words.
Yeah.
Because when I think about us hanging out in the green room or after a show and just laughing and eating Dominoes.
Making the best of the worst situations or getting monitors thrown at your head by shitty band people who don't deserve any kind of, resignation or recognition. Fucking, yeah.
And watching the same girls show. It's like, how does that girl know every band in town? Like, she doesn't work. Like, we know people because we worked their last show. Where did that girl come from? And where are they now? Do you remember Worm? Laura Worm?
Yeah.
They called her Worm.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about where she is now, but
I think that about a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck ever? Like that. You'll just be walking or doing like at the grocery store.
Yep.
I'm like, I wonder whatever did happen to that person. Shit.
Yeah.
You try to look them up on Facebook and it just doesn't exist.
Nothing. Yeah.
You're like, wow.
And then it unlocks like a whole like list of people. Like when you think of one person.
Because we went through phases.
Yeah.
We were like a 3-phase group.
Yeah.
It was the oldest guard was still in power when we were kind of starting to make our little niche, and then we were like the next in line to kind of do all the stuff. I was actually having this conversation just the other day. I was like, yeah, we were like right after the original guys who built all this shit.
Yeah.
The 80s, the late 80s and up. And then we were like right at the end because it goes by decades. So like 88, 89, they continued through the 90s. And then we started, like I stepped in like 99, 2000. And all those guys were still around. And then we started like putting our,
Yeah. And we shaped it. Like 100%, like some of the bands, the biggest shows that we did in like 2006 and 7, those shows, Aaron and James and John and no one knew who the fuck those bands were.
No.
They could look up the Scantrons or Sound Scans.
Sound Scans,
yeah. Scantron. That's
Scantron.
Not what that is.
Scantron.
Yeah. That's what you fill out at school, the bubbles.
Oh, the fucking thing that's like,
yeah.
You're failed.
Yeah. Sound Scans, and you could get on Polestar and look up their numbers, like what they were doing at other venues and averaging, and you could.
That's how you work a deal.
Yeah,
you
like,
could. We see 4,500. Would you do it for 35 and full catering? Or?
Yep, exactly. And like, back then, like buying cases of water, it was like $10 for a case of water. And so I remember when we started, can you think about how much plastic just those shows at Juanita's, like those water bottles, 3 cases per band per night.
Per band, per night. Towels, fresh towels. Gotta have fresh towels.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't we just wash these?
Yeah.
Aaron will just give you that look like, just stop asking questions.
Yeah. Fletcher would send my ass to Goodwill. There was or Savers. There was a Savers at the bottom of Cantrell Hill.
That's a good spot.
Yeah. Vino's, you didn't get new towels. Juanita's, you got new towels.
You got new towels. I've made those runs a couple times. Hey, go get towels. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like the first time I heard that, I was like, what for?
Yeah.
They're like, well, they get sweaty. And I'm like, we're all fucking sweaty. What? Like, it literally blew my mind that bands use towels. And now I keep a towel in my car. Because I'm like, I get hot and sweaty. I'm like, yeah, this shit is nice. Only took 30 years to learn that lesson.
Right. Washing it every day.
And fucking beer. The amount of beer I've handed underage musicians is staggering.
Yeah.
Was that my door?
I think so.
She's asleep.
Oh, you need to get that?
Well, we can wrap it up. We have 2 hours.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
You want to wrap it up?
I hope we said some things worthwhile.
I think this has been fucking awesome.
Okay, good.
Come back and we'll do more. Think of more stories.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for listening.